How the hell do I do it? How do I turn myself on? Oh, I can see it now. I can see it. I was looking in completely the wrong place. There we go. No, it's just here. No, we're out. It's all cleared. Everything's in the kitchen. That might be a bit weird. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Seems to be. Oh, here's Ben. We're all working. This is good. Things are going well. Yeah, my hair is getting terribly long, it has to be said.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear, but we can't see you, Ben.
Hold on. Let me have it.
There we go. Hey.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's weird in here. Kay's gone upstairs. She's like, I'm not staying down here to hear you yakking on.
How dare she?
I know, exactly. Looking too right. Thank you, Ben, for the short notice filling in.
No problem. If you ever need me, just give me a text.
It's just because Chinny's such a diva, you know, you get used to it.
He's just enjoying life.
He is. I don't know, I can't see. I haven't even looked yet. Are we on? I'm eating my crisps. I'm eating my snack. Good. Oh shit! Just bear with me 1 second. I just need to just a bit. Not yet. Just give me a second. Blip. Wait a minute. Which ones do we want? Oh no.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I saw Yeah, I saw you did a YouTube live. Some say it was the best live you've ever done. Yeah, the 2-minute one going, is this working?
I think I'm ready. It's because I'll be honest. It's hold up. I'm not sure I've got the right microphone here. Hold your horses.
I know. That's what I was just checking. I was like, making
right.
sure
Does that sound better? Let me just double check on Discord. Make sure it's not. You know what I mean? You've got to have these things right, haven't you, Ben? You know what I'm saying?
I know. That's same deal. I was just having to make sure
Same dealio.
Tick.
Oh, that's my account. That's not what I want.
Has it been easier this week, Duke? With her being back?
Oh no, we're right. I'm on my snowball. I think so.
Ready.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch!
Just moronic commentary and stupid sound effects, and it's just dumb. It doesn't make any sense.
VeteranGamers, Ginny, other fellas will tell you about every single game that you played this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick. Stu story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite saviors. It's the VeteranGamers. It's the VeteranGamers. It's the VeteranGamers. It's the VeteranGamers. Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, y'all.
Maybe people should think before they speak. Hello and welcome to episode 719 of the VeteranGamers Podcast. I'm Stu.
And I'm Ben. Back again.
Yeah, he does. Oh, honestly, I said to Kay this week, you'd think that nobody'd ever had a baby before. I mean, he needs just to calm himself down.
I heard he's not here today because Tara's teaching him how to do a nappy. He's still not figured it out after a week.
You're close, Ben. No, you're close, Ben. Apparently, it's because he's had to change 3 nappies today, and that just washed him out. You know what I mean? He was fucking done. The guy was mashed. His head's mashed in because he had to change 3 nappies, and one was a number 2. I'm a potato. That's what it was all about. Oh, yeah, because Chinny's not here to talk about the merch and how many millions and gazillions of t-shirts he sent out. Just bear with me just 1 second.
It says, okay, why there? Duke, I hate to be that guy because it's technology. James Bevan says he can hear the sound effects in Stu, but can't hear you. That's what he's saying.
Wow.
That's because okay. Yeah, Nano. Okay. All right. How about now? Can you hear me now? Hopefully he can hear me now. Should be that he can hear me now. Everybody should be able to hear me now. There you go. That's right. Sorry about that. All sorts of things going on here. Whoops. Okay.
Thank you, James Bevan.
Yeah, thanks,
That's
James
your
Bevan.
good deed of the day done already.
Yeah, appreciate it. Okay. Well, I did just switch that. That's crazy. All right, so let's have a story time. Somebody surely has a story to tell, and I got a thing here.
My favorite time. It's story time. Story time.
Sorry about that. I just had a bit of an internet glitch there.
Okay, that's okay.
I disappeared for a second.
Ben, tell us a story about your week.
Oh, well, okay, it's slightly gaming related. I had a load of my friends come around on Saturday. They just had their first baby, and we were all not hung out for a while. So I thought, everyone come round.
Is this show just about babies?
Yes, now shut your mouth, Stu.
God.
Anyway, so I was like, right, I've got to get all the house clean, set up. And do you know what we decided to play? The Xbox Connect. I found that bad boy. Yeah, bro, I found that bad boy, and like, the dust on it was thick. Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, we had a good time. But you know what? I had to recalibrate it before everyone came in, and like, oh my gosh, I forgot how janky. Do you guys have the Kinect? I can't remember.
I played it once at a Best Buy.
Yeah, Best Buy was the best place. That's what sold me on it. I went to like a PC World and I was like, wow, it works so well. And then you realise, yeah, you need like 30 foot of space for this thing to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to use the hand signals though and like try and start it because I couldn't find any batteries for the Xbox controllers.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I watched, because I typed in the Kinect on YouTube, it was giving me all the adverts for what the Kinect they sold it on.
Yeah.
What a scam! I tell you what, there's got to be something in that way you can like legally sue them. Oh my gosh, what a piece of junk!
Come on, let's not forget Milo.
Milo!
Gosh,
yeah,
the Milo,
the tiger. Oh, it's so beautiful.
No. Milo was Peter Molyneux's child molester simulator.
Oh my gosh!
Do you not remember this?
No, I thought you were talking about the pet one.
No, not Kinect.
Wait, I got you,
fam.
Yeah, I got you. It's coming up. Hang on, just give me a second.
I'll give you a second, Duke.
Right, it's gonna come on the screen here.
It's gonna come on any second now because Duke is on it.
That's right.
Connectimals is what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was it.
Connectimal, because it's all a play on words, everybody.
Yeah, the adverts though. I remember watching it as a kid. Like, oh my gosh, they've cracked it. This is incredible. This
I won't need a controller anymore, dude.
Fair, though, do you know what though? We played Dance Central, and it actually held up because it tracks your feet. That one was actually decent, but
cool.
Yeah. That's what I've been up to this week, getting everything cleaned and ready for guests to come round. Like you, Duke. When guests come round, for some reason, it has to be spotless, the whole house. But apparently,
got it sorted,
right now,
okay now,
my house is good.
Yeah.
So had you a good week?
I was going to say, you can see on screen now, Ben. Have you seen the Milo thing on screen?
Oh my gosh.
So basically, Peter Molyneux developed this thing called Milo, which was going to be this completely interactive
whiny child idiot.
Spoke to it.
Yeah. I don't want to do my homework.
Through the Kinect, like you were speaking to a real person, and he would react to you and all this stuff.
Yeah.
It was just bizarre.
Totally.
Did it actually come out?
No, did it? Hell.
No.
No.
It's a Peter Molyneux game. Half of them came out, half of them didn't.
Once everyone started calling it a child molester simulator, I think it kind of died a death.
To be fair, I played the block one for about 2 seconds. Do you remember when he did the one on the phone?
Yeah, where you just tap on things.
And you get the last block. You're going to win something so amazing. I was like, turned out you did win something amazing.
Well, you did, but you didn't because you were going to be the king of the game or something. I can't remember, some shit like that.
And I think you got like 5% cash you made in game you'd get, but like nobody played it, so you basically made like 50p.
Yeah, no one played it, so it was a pointless prize. Because he said it was going to be like, a prize that you could never ever win and all this bullshit. But do you know what though? I kind of like it. For all
here we go
bullshit.
again. I like his Peter Molyneux at the end of the
for all
day.
his complete bullshitness, it was kind of funny. We met him at EGX. It was really funny. And we were like, do you want to say a message to one of your biggest fans, Duke? And he's like,
I remember that. Yeah, you were like, oh, man.
It was like, go on, say hello to one of your biggest fans.
Yeah. All right. So you had fun with Kinect and you cleaned up the house. And all right. Stu, any kind of stories?
No, not apart from clearing out. Our conservatory is completely empty now, ready for the builders to move in tomorrow and demolish it. So.
Oh, yeah. And you went on holiday, didn't you?
Fun. They're going to have a fun old week this week. Yeah, I've been on holiday as well. Went to Chester this week, which is a lovely little place.
Okay.
Perfect. It couldn't have been better. It was sunny. We had a nice walk. One day was completely pissing it down because we're in the UK after all. So it kind of pissed it down all day. But we just watched movies and stuff. We watched Talk to Me. Have you seen Talk to Me?
Is that the Don Cheadle movie?
No, it's a bit of an Australian indie horror film.
Okay.
And yeah, it's about these kids or teenagers who find this like hand with all these carvings on it. But when you hold it and say "Talk to Me," you see the dead.
I see. So for the record, Don Cheadle was in a movie called Talk to Me from 2007. So.
Yeah. I'm sure he was, but this is from like last year or whatever.
Okay.
But he's very good. It's pretty brutal, and it's pretty good. I kind of liked it. It's kind of a good horror movie. It's meant to be the scariest film that's come out this year, as they always say. Scariest film ever. It was all right from a scare point of view. It was more brutal than scary.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It was kind of a bit gross out stuff, some of the stuff that happened. But it's good. It's good. It's a big thumbs up from me.
Okay.
Fair enough. What about you, Duke? Anything exciting?
Grading papers and grading more papers. It's been a paper grading week, and I've had a lot of students. I'm the sponsor of Amnesty International at our school, so I've had a lot of students say, like, what is going on with Israel and Palestine? And I'm like, well, how much time do you have?
That is what you need.
And then I told the teachers, like, hey, if anybody wants to talk about it. And then, like, after I sent the email out, we had a department meeting for some people on our team, and the principal came by, and everyone was like, go ahead, tell us what you can. And I'm like, well, how much time do we have? And they're like, 15 minutes. I was like, oh, Christ. So I did my best to sort of break down some of the basic stuff that people don't often know in this country. But anyway, so that was interesting because I like to share what I know, which is not much.
The Israelis took over Palestine's lands in the beginning, and
well, it depends on who you ask. But yes, it was. Well, it was a British. It was a British mandate that said,
it was a British who gave it to the Palestine.
Right, and how is it theirs to give away?
Have this bit of land here. No one will.
Right, we have to have this land. Well, we happen to acquire it somehow. Anyway, we're not here to talk about
you
that.
just come and live here. No one will care. It's all good.
We're here to talk about video games.
That is an interesting subject. I'm glad you were able to
It is,
navigate through it
and the only thing
well.
I'll say is that there's a lot. I always start with it's a very complicated situation. I'm just a high school English teacher, but I have studied it for quite a few years, and I want to look at it through the lens of human rights and international law. So if we use those sort of foundational lenses, then we can get away from a little bit of the ideology and the rage and anger. Although sometimes those things also make people angry and whatnot. But anyway, that's it. Tune into the next Sincast. I'll be talking all about it. For now, let's talk about the video games we've been playing, shall we?
Where are you going? Story time's over, isn't it?
What you been playing?
Here we go.
What you been playing?
Come on.
What you been playing?
Yeah.
There you go.
Sex noises into the microphone for 10 seconds.
Sorry, I thought that would play earlier. Go ahead, Stu. What you been playing?
I played a shit ton of stuff.
I also played a whole bunch of games.
It's been Next Fest.
So what is Next Fest, Stu?
Next Fest is when they go, right, let's get a bunch of demos for games that are coming out in the near future, and you can just play them. Just play them. Just
this
go
is
for
on
your life.
Steam.
Have a go.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of demos, and sometimes they're only available for this week. So if you want to play any of these game demos, people, go check them out on Steam because they may be gone soon. Where are we starting?
Have you played any? Yeah, have you played any of these, Ben? Just before we go.
Nope, I have not.
We did not let Ben know that it was Next Fest because we didn't think he would have to fill in again for Chinny.
Here, did we? We didn't think
Chinny's a
be here.
pathetic dork who can't be bothered.
You
to
just
play
can't get rid of me. Just can't get rid of me.
I got a baby. Thank God you don't have a baby, Ben. I bet if you had a baby, though, you'd be like, all right, I'm going to hold the baby and also do the podcast. Because you are a trooper.
But,
Yeah.
Stu,
I'm sure Chinny would have played all the games as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? We are not Chinny the Diva, though. That's the difference here.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, not Chinny the Diva. I'm going to start with my favorite.
That's the way you real diva like the floss it.
And which one was that?
Jusant.
Pissant.
Probably my favorite demo, which I can see you play too, dude.
I did play this demo because you told me to play it, and I'm a team player, so I'm going to play what you asked me to play. This is the title is a French term, so we should pronounce it Jusant.
Jusant.
Yes.
Which means the receding tide or something, it says at the beginning of the game.
Correct. What kind of game is it, Stu?
Which you get that impression, can I say, from the very start of the game, you do get the impression that this stuff that you're walking around along has been uncovered.
Yeah, and it's also that
it was covered up and then it's been uncovered.
It feels pretty French right off the jump.
Does it come out with the French flag on?
He's got a baguette and a beret.
No, nothing like that.
No, but it's just the feel of it somehow. I don't know. If you hadn't told me it was... I mean, maybe it's not even French, but it just, I don't know. It's fitting.
Does it feel
Ubisoft? No. Let's just clarify. This is developed by Don't Nod, who did Life is Strange. So that's
really
the developer of it. Yeah. So that's.
But aren't they like Canadian or something?
No, they're French.
Oh, well, they are French. I was correct.
Which is kind of cool. Because this is a complete departure from sort of Life is Strange.
It is a complete. For instance, that game has a story.
Yeah, but this has got. It doesn't necessarily have a story, but this does have something's going on.
Yeah.
So, you're in this kind of cool fantasy world where there's obviously been villages or people living in this where you are now climbing up. And there's stuff
another way to say
behind.
something's going on is
something's happening.
Yeah, something is happening. I thought it was completely charming. I love the UI. I love the control system. If you've ever played the climb in VR, this is kind of the control scheme for the climb. Which is using the triggers to hold on.
It's a climbing game. It's 100% a climbing game.
It is a climb, but it's also
Is it developed from like the Uncharted climbing? Is it more advanced than the
Uncharted? No, it's way more advanced than
that. You have to tell. So I played it on the mouse and keyboard. You have as soon as you jump onto a handhold near this little doodad on the wall, your rope will plug into the doodad. So if you fall, you don't die, which is nice.
Okay.
And presumably there's something similar to this on the controller. You click
and
the
if you
left
press
mouse
X at any time, you can knock I can't remember what they're called, like a pinion,
carapace or something.
Or a pinton, whatever they're called, into the wall.
But you have to hold down the left mouse button for your left hand and then direct where you want your right hand to go, and then you hold down the right mouse button, and then you can pick up the left mouse button, and you have to keep alternating to like move your hands around and stuff. So it is pretty involved
on the controller. It's left and right triggers.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
And then you have to jump at certain times. You only have 3 of the little carapaces, whatever they're called, to put into the wall.
Yeah.
But that's all you really need, because even if you fall, like you're okay. You just have to go back a little bit.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like a mini
progress,
checkpoint,
don't you?
Right.
See, as she falls, if you've done it, you save yourself. Just pull yourself back up. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and on the controller, you just use the shoulder buttons for going up and down.
Yeah,
but it's just beautiful. The animations are just lovely.
It looks great. It works. Yeah, there's no doubt that it looks great.
I just love it.
The character is wearing some stupid-looking shades. Let's be honest about that. At the beginning of the game, they show the person's face.
Well, there's something sungler, you don't want to get blinded.
It looks like it's 3D glasses for someone who doesn't have any pupils. It's just like slits in it, and it's just like, ugh. But whatever.
You're getting blinded. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen explorers in the Antarctic? That's what they wore.
I guess
they
I haven't.
just like that, by the way.
I guess I haven't. It does a good job of evoking a world that's gone or whatever, because you are climbing among the rubble of people who have built homes in what used to be an ocean. So there's kind of like 2 layers of reality that you're getting into. And it's interesting, but I got to be honest, a demo, I like a demo to be kind of punchy and like, let's go, let's get moving, let's just throw me in the action. And this had a lot of that, like, pull back, show the spire, and not too much, but it was just a little more than I wanted. So I was just sitting there at a certain point, like, can we get moving, please? And there's a bunch of, a lot of the game presumably is reading files left by people who are gone. And so on more than one occasion, it was like, oh, Julie, I hope to see you next week. And I'm just like, next. Come on. I want to do more climbing. I'm not here to read a whole life story in an email.
Wow.
But that's just me.
No, wait a minute. Just a minute. At the beginning of everything we started talking about, you were complaining there was no story. Yeah. And now you're talking about the bits that give you the story, and you're now complaining about that as well. Is that what I'm gleaning from this?
Yeah, but I mean, it's such an indirect form of story. One of the nice things about a video game is that it can give you a story as you play it, instead of having to make you read a story.
How else could it have
If I want to read a story, I'll open a book.
Yeah, but
how else could they give me a story with a character that talks to me?
You want a story?
They could give me a character who talks to me. That's how a lot of games show the story, Stuart. I don't know if you remember Red Dead Redemption 2. There's all these characters that are talking at the same time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
wow.
I would give this a thumbs up. It's an interesting demo. I had a bit of fun with it. I thought I would give up after a little bit of climbing, but I was curious, so I kept going.
Did you get to the? I got to the end of the demo. Did you get to the end?
I did. The little cute dude
great,
on your shoulder.
I love the
comes
bit
out
at
of
the end where he's doing the cute, like blowing on the horn and stuff.
Yeah. Well, you gotta be honest though. When they show the thing that you're gonna put the little seashell into, it. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, hey, put your junk in there. It looks like it's a pretty yonic opening. Let's just say that. So anyway,
I just loved everything about it. I am definitely going to be playing this when it comes out. I don't think it's too near in the future either. I don't think it's too far. I think what I found, which was really great, as you play, obviously you press B to reel in your line when you get to the next point that you need to kick off again.
Yep.
And you press X to put your pitons. I can't think what they're called, the pintons or
the
something
thing
like
in
that
the wall
into the wall.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is it becomes kind of a natural thing to do. You kind of start subconsciously doing it without really
it's very
about
it becomes second nature to just climb up on a thing.
Yeah.
Zoop, pull up the rope.
Yeah, your finger and X,
there are a couple of spots where you had to fling yourself up on the rope and jump and catch the thing, and there were 4 steps involved. You have to pull back and then pull forward and jump and grab, and I was like, I wish it was a little more fluid.
You see, I like that.
Different strokes for different
it
folks.
gives you that bit of challenge that you need.
I guess.
Yeah,
so.
And I like this where there's checkpoints almost where you can just shimmy back down to where you've come from.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? That was kind of cool as well. I loved everything about it. I think this is a really, really clever game.
Yeah, more power to you.
And I
thought it was
when
good.
you look at the end, I was going to say at the end, you can see where you're eventually got to get to, and it's enormous.
Oh yeah, it's a
like
big
this
world.
Enormous mountain.
It's a very interesting looking landscape, and like I said, I thought I would play it for less time than I did, so that's a good sign. I'm not going to be getting it. I doubt I'll play it, but I can see if you like a bit of climbing, if you're willing to put up with some squishy, amorphous French type stuff, then this could be a good game for you. And we all know Stu's a little more into the French type games than we are.
Definitely. I mean, this is right up my alleyway from like aesthetically and gameplay wise, and you know, everything about it is the stuff I love about video games.
Yeah.
So massive thumbs up. If it's still available as a demo, I wholeheartedly recommend listeners out there to go and give this a go, because it is. I just loved it. I thought it was brilliant.
Watch out for Jusant.
There you go.
Or Jusant. Right.
Can you two just carry on for a minute, because I'm getting quite a bit of distortion in my headphones, and I'm not sure
distortion
whether it's my internet connection or whether it's.
Well, we can't hear anything on our end, so you sound great.
Wait,
so
is it Duke's mic?
I don't know. It's kind of every now and again there's a bit of distortion. Are you getting that as well?
I'm getting a little bit of distortion on Duke's mic, but I don't know.
Yeah, same.
It's possible that the noise suppression, which I have to set to 0 for the sound effects to work, is causing a little bit of whatever.
It could be that, anyway. Or have you got your mic turned up too loud on Discord? I wondered.
Possibly, I can adjust that, but I don't want to play with anything too much. But anyway, Ben, go ahead.
Talk. I'll not bother then if it's not just me. I thought it was just me.
I feel it'll be all right because Duke's getting the recording anyway, so it will sound crisp on his.
Yeah.
All right, I turned my mic down a little bit. Hopefully that'll help.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Ben, go ahead. What do you got?
Okay, I had some friends around, like I was saying, at story time, and we decided to play a game called Secret Shuffle. It's a mobile game where you all have to wear headphones, and it's quite interesting. So you all stand in a room, and you have to dance to the music, but there will be different game modes on it, and we had about literally 10 or about 12 of us all playing it, and at the beginning, don't get me wrong, it's a bit awkward as hell, but there was one game mode where 2 of you are listening to nothing and the rest of you are listening to the beat, and you've got to work out within 45 seconds which 2 are not dancing in tune with the beat. So then you've got to figure it out. So you're listening to some disco funk, and then the other 2 are doing not. You can tell when they're not bopping to the right beat. So then you have to point at them who it is and guess. So there's little mini games, but we played that for about an hour and a half. There's all different versions. So there's one, and you can have all different types of music. So it's not just electronic. It's pop, classic, or all different types of genres. But we had a fantastic time. There's one where, say, there's 12 of you. One of you is listening to the same music, and you've got to figure out who's listening to it. So you're all listening, mine's R&B, and you're looking, and you go, is this guy dancing here? And you got to figure it all out. And yeah, we had a great time doing it. And then there's one little game mode where one person has to sing the beat, and we all have to follow the beat of what they're doing. So if it's opera, it's and everyone's just dancing to it and doing it in tune. And yeah, it was a fun little app game. Honestly, we all had an absolute blast playing it. The funniest one for me personally was you had to copy the person who was listening to the music. We had to dance like them. It was the most awkward thing ever. There's just 12 people. There was 11 people listening to nothing, and just one guy breaking it down hard, and you're just there copying them. This is so awkward.
It looks like the type of game that is hard to understand until you actually play it. Because I'm watching this trailer we have on the stream, and it's I can't understand what the fuck is going on. But
you have
I can totally. I mean, that's how I felt about Rock Band the first time I saw it too, and then I played it. And I'm like, oh yes, I am in.
Yeah.
So
you have to just realize it's a stupid game, and you're all just gonna laugh at each other. If you're too serious, you've got a serious group of friends, don't bother. But if you're down for a good laugh, honestly, We had a
And so,
great
did you have to
time.
buy this? I assume, or like.
Only one of you have to buy it.
Okay,
I think it's like £5 or something like that, and then the rest of you can all play for free.
Nice.
So it was, we all put 50p in.
All right.
And it was a good fun time. Everyone seems to have really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The best one for me is you had to copy someone,
Yeah.
and what one of my friends did, he started doing the worm. So there's just 12 people in a dining room in a conservatory
Nice.
trying to do the worm, and that was just the
Yeah.
most embarrassing thing ever.
Do
But
the worm.
it was good. It was good. It was good for a mobile game. You know, sometimes you buy these games, you think,
oh yeah,
but no.
Yeah.
Big thumbs up.
It does look like fun. It looks like a fun party game.
Do you know Stu's going to play this next time he has some people over?
Oh,
I
I'm
can
definitely
totally
going to
see
play
Stu
this.
getting into this.
The key is, though, make sure everyone brings headphones.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I had to text everyone before, like, come on, people.
Yeah.
Do not forget your headphones.
And
only
set
two
up a
did
camera
forget,
too,
that's
so you
not
can
bad.
see people playing it. Because I think it would
Oof,
work better
don't do
to
that.
have visuals. Yeah, then people would be more self-conscious. So no, don't do that.
No. But yeah, it was a good, fun game. So,
Cool.
Yeah, that's what I've always been playing. What about you, Duke?
Yeah. So, speaking of mobile games, I've been playing. Sorry, I'm trying to. There's like 7 windows open all at the same time. Okay, so mobile games. I've been playing coffee golf, and I've also been. Stu just left. I also had
Obviously,
a teacher.
doesn't like coffee golf.
I guess not. Fuck coffee golf. I had a teacher who asked me if I'm playing Connections, and I was like, "What the hell is Connections?" So, New York Times has bought up Wordle, and they have several other word games, and now they have one called Connections, which is actually really cool. If anybody out there has played Connections, holler at your boy. I think I've got the name right. I want to make sure I'm giving the right name. Yeah, it's called Connections. So here, I can show you. Maybe I can show you on Connections word game. This is on the New York Times app, and these are all people showing how to play it. I guess I won't use their video streams because we could get in trouble. But anyway, so the idea behind Connections is, here, wait, I want to do Let's Play. Let's Play. How to play. Screw y'all. All right, whatever. This is just a whole bunch of people playing it. Anyway, so here, let me get a screenshot. Connections.
Is it more Scrabble or is it more crosswordy?
No, it's none of the above. So here, I'll get a screenshot up here. Open image in a new. No, that's too small. Here we go. There we go. Nice and big. Okay, so here, let me put this up. Hopefully this will work. Yeah. Okay, so we've got the thing on the screen there. It's a grid of 4x4, and it's a whole bunch of words. And what you're doing is you're trying to figure out what the words have in common. So every 4 words, well, each group of 4 has a theme that you need to kind of figure out. So, for instance, on this set of things, you've got sundial, you've got clock. I'm trying to think what other things would be. Watch. And hourglass is down at the bottom. It was hidden by our faces there. So those are going to be one group of things, which is they're all timepieces, right? And then you figure out the rest of them. We could do it together, but it would be tough. I don't know what J is, for instance, so who knows? But it's just an interesting little, short game. You can play a little bit here, a little bit there, and it's kind of fun and kind of cute. And then, of course, since it's all on the same New York Times Games app, so like Wordle is right there, and I'm like, I've never played Wordle. I'll give it a shot. And now I'm kind of addicted to Wordle the way a lot of people have been, but I'm late to the party, so whatever.
No.
Yeah, I believe this has caused some controversy.
Really?
They see a game you're talking about, because I believe this was stolen off a quiz show in the UK, and the people, the producer of the quiz show, actually contacted the New York Times and said,
wow.
You've basically
stolen
our
shit.
Quiz show.
Yeah, well,
stole our shit and put it in your newspaper.
I don't really know what to say about that other than suck it. We're the New York Times. Okay. We steal whatever we want.
Yeah, we can do what we like.
Yeah. So anyway, that's been kind of fun. Stu, do you want to go back to you? We talk about another game we've both played.
So I'm going to talk about yet another demo I've played, which is actually quite similar in style to Jussan. which is called Europa.
Okay.
And Europa is great. Can I just say? This is yet another game that I can 100% see myself playing in the very near future.
Okay.
And as you may or may not have guessed, Europa is set on the moon Europa of Jupiter. So the Jupiter's moon Europa.
Okay. Except that it's all green and it looks like Earth.
It's like a Studio Ghibli cartoon.
It does look very pretty.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
It plays beautifully. The animations are amazing.
For those who don't know,
you're
like a little character. It's a 3D like adventure kind of game. Looks like.
Yeah. That's pretty much what it is. So you have this little backpack which allows you to glide, but also can boost you upwards as well.
Okay.
And gameplay-wise, it reminds me a hell of a lot of Flower.
Really?
You had me at gameplay-wise, and then you lost me at Flower.
Yeah, purely because it's kind of all about linking stuff together, and when you link it all together, you get like an outcome, basically. So it's very much like Flower in that respect. And it looks... I can't tell you how good this game looks. It's just beautiful. It really is like, say, a Studio Ghibli cartoon come to life. And in the background, if you look around, you can actually see Jupiter in the sky, and it just looks amazing.
Wow.
It just looks kind of brilliant.
It does look very
again,
sweet.
This is Duke's got to hate on this because the story's all in these like little books that you find, which describes what went on and why there's these settlements on Europa.
As Beavis and Butthead once said, if I want to read, I'll go to school.
Well, that's what you think, but it's all fully narrated. So all of the book excerpts, when you pick one up and open it,
cool.
It's all narrated by an actor, which is, again, is a superb voice actor. It's not just someone reading it out. They're absolutely brilliant. Again, I can't say enough great things about this game. It's a puzzle platformer, I guess is the best way to describe it. Yep. Your little jetpack gets refilled when you sort of go in these shiny lights, and you're constantly leveling it up. So you sort of get more boosts, and the more boost you get, obviously the more places you can get to.
That's cool.
But again, I completely urge everybody out there to go and give this a go, because it is... I can't tell you. I mean, you're looking at it now. You can see how...
It looks crisp. Honestly, crisp.
Gorgeous this game is. By the way, all of these run perfectly, can I just say, on the Steam Deck as well. So I've played all these demos on the Steam Deck.
I feel like the Steam Deck is like just the basic standard now for developers. Like once upon a time, they were trying to retrofit games to the Steam Deck. Now, if you're going to make a game in 2023, you got to make sure it works on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, it's got to be Steam Deck compatible massively. The only one I'm just trying to think, just ran absolutely smooth as glass. I mean, that thing ran perfectly. Yep. I feel like this did as well. I can't think of any issues I had playing this on the Steam Deck. I feel like this ran perfectly as well. No problems at all. They're all question marked, of course, because no one's verified that these run on the Steam Deck. But so far, they've all run perfectly.
Cool.
And it's just full of life. Everywhere you look, there's either butterflies, and you can see on screen there's a big tortoise. There's just stuff everywhere. It's like everywhere you look, it's teeming with like activity. It feels like a really well realized world.
It feels like a Stew game. You know, when I listen to veteran gamers, I have you all have your different roles, and this feels like a game you would love, Stew.
When do you get to the crafting?
Massively. There is no crafting, thank God.
Is it? So there are these beams of light coming from the ground. Is it clear enough where to go?
Yeah, that's what they are. So every beam of light you see is a marker for your next objective.
Okay, because that's the one thing that can sometimes drive me crazy in these games. It's like you kind of supposed to know, but the beams of light are pretty clear, I think, where to go.
Yeah, it's so well designed. Everything about it is just slick. You know, the way it looks, like I say, the way it animates, just everything. It's just phenomenal. I just honestly, I think this next fest for me has probably been one of the best ones that's ever been, because I just think most of the demos that I've actually played in it have been really great. You know, every demo has been really top notch.
All right.
I have played.
Not
I
for me,
have
but
played a couple of duffers.
Yeah.
which I haven't put on my list, but I have played a couple. But the ones that I've played that I really like, I've really liked. You know what I mean?
think I agree that there's been some good stuff on here. So, yeah.
And it just shows me as well that innovation in games is still going on. You know, just when you think like they've done everything they can possibly do,
let me push back on that though. Like, what is this doing that's new?
I don't know. I just think it's the whole world and the atmosphere of the game. And I know we've had little jetpacks things before, but I just think it just reminds me so much of like, you know, like Eco and like I say, Flower and
don't
Journey.
get me wrong. I'm not trying to. Yeah, I'm not trying to diss on like the aesthetics or like the beauty or the gameplay. I'm nitpicking on the word innovation, I guess. I think this looks like a really good structure. Yeah, go ahead.
Not so much innovate, I guess, but the best way to put this, I feel like there's a lot of inspiration from a lot of other games. Sure. Yeah, it's so well refined and so on point.
Right. And that's, I think, a very important point is that a lot of games are technically fine, but they don't have a soul or a lot of heart from the developers, and I can tell this game they did put their heart and soul into it, which is really important.
It just feels so alive. Like I say, the world itself just feels alive. It feels like it's it's like a real place almost, which sounds really weird.
Sure.
But
so can you die? Like, is it possible to die in this game?
No, no. It's a very forgiving game.
Okay. Because I see you can glide, but I guess you don't run out of stamina like on Breath of the Wild or whatever. Which is nice.
I've not died so far.
Okay,
know, I've played the whole demo, and it definitely got to a point where I got to the end of the demo, and I'm like, "Is that it? I want to play more."
Right, and I think it looks like that is a good demo. It looks like they've decided that because every developer does this. Are we going to make it punishing, or are we just going to make it fun? And I think that there's something to be said for a game like this being more fun than it is challenging. So.
Yeah, this is just relaxing. It's just sort of it's just a world to get lost in.
Cool.
And it doesn't, I mean, even though there is a story and there is all this narrative going on in the background, it almost feels like it doesn't need it because it's just this explore, level up, find new nooks and crannies to discover.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gorgeous.
Cool.
Again, one of my favorite demos I've played. Between this and Jusant, I'm not really sure which I like the best, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because they're both equally brilliant in different ways.
Sure.
But similar theme, I guess. They feel similar type of games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One's got bigger jump and one's climbing. But...
Yeah. So there you go. Make of it what you will.
This one doesn't seem as French.
No, it does. Like I say, I mean,
not that French being French is a bad thing.
Oh. Like I said earlier, the best comparison would be Studio Ghibli. You know what I mean? That's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah. Cool.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like one of those films that's come to life as a video game. I mean, I know we got what was the RPG that did that?
Ni no Kuni.
Called? Yeah, Ni no Kuni. That felt like it, but this is kind of more like it because unlike an RPG and this weird overworld that they had going on. This is it. You're in the world. And
that's a good point because the Ni no Kuni, as much as I enjoyed many parts of it, to take you in and out of different versions of the world is disorienting. And I think part of Studio Ghibli's magic is that you have this experience where you're entirely with these characters and the imagery, the look of the thing never changes, whereas in an RPG you just generally have that changing perspective on a regular basis, especially when they went to like zoomed in fight scenes. So
yeah, this definitely doesn't have any of that. This is purely have fun.
All right,
do you know what I mean? And explore.
So thumbs up for Europa.
So, yeah, massive thumbs up for Europa.
Cool.
Can't wait to play this game in when it's released.
Yeah. Awesome. Fantastic. Okay. Well.
Do you want to talk?
What do you got? No, go ahead.
Next. Okay. All right. I'll go. My next game I played was a game called Device Inc. It was very cheap on Steam. It was a CD key for like £2 or something, and a load of my friends. My brother bought all of us it. So thank you, Dan. I very much appreciate it. And basically, what it is you can play it singles, duos, or trios. And there's it's a first-person game, and you disguise as like NPCs. There's a load of NPCs walking around, but there's like 4 groups of teams, and they're all blended in. But it's like a heist game, so you've got to like get these points that are like hidden available.
Sorry, I'm having trouble finding this, Ben. You said Device Inc.
Yeah, hold on.
Because I'm seeing something called Software Inc.
DECEIVE.
Oh,
yeah,
Deceiving.
I don't know.
Okay. No, that's
Deceiving.
fine.
Oh, sorry.
Deceiving. No, that's fine.
Dyslexia.
Yeah,
That's called dyslexia kicking in. That is.
Yeah,
there you go. Totally different game. That is.
Yeah. Sorry.
No worries.
Do you know what? It's late. It's late.
We just want to make sure we got the right video.
We had
Go ahead.
That's great. But yeah, it's like a heist game where you've got to like break in. So you've got to be dressed up as a security guard to get into certain points. So you disguise as them, and then you get points and you sneak in. But what you can do is you can like stand outside if you know someone's in there. Now they'll be dressed up as a security guard or something. But if they just move a little bit funny and you think, you've all got guns and it turns like a first person shooter where you can shoot each other.
Dude.
And like if you kill them, you get the heist stuff. And then they're out of the game.
Okay.
And if you get the heists, if once you've done like 3 heists, the big box unlocks. It's like somewhere on the map it will say, and to get in there is like super difficult. But if you get in there, you've got the loot. But then everyone's aware you've got the loot, and everyone's just disguised. They're all NPCs hiding. There's like 4 exits. But if there's like 5 teams left, there'll be a team. If you're duos, you'll split up. And if you notice someone carrying a case, you'll just be like, "Yo, bro, get over there!" And it just turns into carnage. But no, it's a really unique, fun game. We were meant to be playing it with about 8 of us, but they haven't got private lobbies. So that's pretty mad to me. But they have. But thankfully, there's not many people playing it. So we all learn. If we all start at the exact same time, we all get in the same lobby.
And is it hard to get like with your people, or you have to like make sure you join at the same? Because it sounds like you can't like join your friend's lobby.
No. So you all just on Discord, we all just said 3, 2, 1, search, and like thankfully there's about 12 people playing it. But you know what?
Funny, though,
we had a great.
Not after you talk about it on the Veteran Gamers. There's going to be 700 people playing it now, and you'll never play with your friends again.
No, but no, it's a really unique game. That's it's because it's first person as well. It's like shooting skills, but it's not all about. Like I've been playing Counter-Strike and that's just all shooting skills. Whereas this is like detective. You can just like if you've got some loot, but you play it cool, like you play like an NPC, you can just walk straight out of there without anyone realizing.
Yeah, sure.
But I have not done that yet because every time I've tried to get out, somebody has been able to figure it out. I tell you what's fun as well because you play with a group of you. We all leave our Discord. And we all like play in 2s.
Yeah.
But then when you die, you come in the Discord. So when you're watching it, you can see like your friends like walk past each other. Like my brother was playing against my friend Ollie. Yeah. And like there was a moment where they both didn't realize that they were standing next to each other and they were waiting for the loot to drop. And like as soon as, and then they were sort of, they just realized they gave that like gamer twitch of I swear that's, and then they just start shooting each other. It was great fun.
That's great.
But yeah,
it's like in
like
Team Fortress 2, there's the whatever the spy dude is that looks like someone else. Yeah, and it's like that moment, but times 100. That's the whole game.
Yeah, it did feel a bit Team Fortress, like Gary's moddy.
Yeah, and some of the visuals on like the characters and stuff kind of feel a little bit like that. Is influenced by that maybe.
Yeah. So I don't think it's going to be the greatest killer game in the world, but it was fun for what it was.
I can see this being fun in the way that Among Us was fun for a little bit.
Yeah. But if they please, well, you don't have to actually because there's not many people playing. But after the Veteran Gamers, we're going to need private lobbies because it's going to be
there
full.
You go.
So please, if
all
you
the
could
people
put private lobbies in, that would be better. But it's cross-platform as well, and I do appreciate that because there's so many of my friends that are PlayStation, Xbox, PC. So please, game developers, if you're listening, make that a common thing. I very much appreciate that.
Go ahead.
But that's what I played.
Can I just give a shout out to Lennox in the chat who's updated us on what I'm assuming is a rugby score. France 25, South Africa 19. Not sure why that's in our chat, but there you go.
Neck and neck.
Just thought let everybody know.
Or maybe he
that,
just
you know,
went
you're a
there.
big
He went to
supporter of
France
VeteranGamers.
25 times and South Africa 19 times. Could be.
There you go.
Never
there
know.
You go.
Yeah.
That must be what it is.
That could be
But thank you, Lennox. It's very kind of you to let us know that.
Yeah. Anything else about Deceive Inc., Ben?
That's it, Duke. Thank you very much for asking, though. What about you?
Right. So I have been playing other demos on NextFest. Stu, I'll give you a break and talk about a game that it looks like you have not played, but I think you played the first one.
I haven't.
Of
No,
this.
I've forgotten this was on there.
So there's a demo for the Talos Principle 2. Did you play the first one, Stu?
I did.
Yeah. So the Talos Principle, while I'm getting this set up, what is the Talos Principle?
So the Talos Principle is kind of like a Portal-like game.
In some ways, yeah.
Which in some ways, but instead of using portals, it uses light beams, and you have to arrange them in the right way with mirrors and stuff. And
yeah,
all
so it
these
is a
splitters
3D
and things like that.
Right, it is a 3D puzzle game that you play in first person. Although this person is pulled back to third person, so it's a little different from how I played it, but that's okay. It is. Excuse me. You are set up in the first one. You're like in some island and you have the voice of your benevolent father or whatever, and it turns out you're a robot. I guess maybe that's obvious from the start. I don't remember in the first one. But in the second one, the demo that I played for the second one, they go a lot bigger with the scenario. So you have a couple of puzzles you have to solve at the very start, mostly to just get you acquainted with the way it works. You go through the purple, I don't know what you'd call it, wall of light, and that resets everything. You can't go through the blue walls of light, so you have to aim the blue light at the blue indicator, and then that will unlock the wall of light to get through that part of it, and then you unlock a red. You put the red beam into the red wall of light, and that will, whatever. The problem I had with the first one is that at certain points in the game, the process of connecting the light refractor and then putting it in the right place, it came down to like pixels. And you had to walk through like 3 areas to get to the thing that you were supposed to aim it at, and then move the thing, walk back, and then move the thing and see if it went through. It just became such an annoying, minute detail futzing game that I just said, you know what, I'm not having fun with this, fuck it. They seem to be avoiding that so far in the Talos Principle 2. I think I did a total of 10 puzzles, perhaps. And at no point did I feel like it was unfair or unclear what I was supposed to do, or that I had to, fiddle with things. They introduced teleporters in this game, so it really does this thing of like bending your brain in terms of like what you're supposed to be doing, where you're supposed to put the teleporter, and then you have this one thing that'll like drill a visual hole through the wall, so you can like place the teleporter, but if you move the thing that moves the hole through the wall, then you're kind of screwed unless you remember where the teleporter was, and you have to be able to see the teleporter. It's just such a weird. It does that thing that Portal kind of does at times of like making your head melt. The other thing that it did is go really big with the story. So whereas before it was just you and your puzzle process, now there's this whole world of other robots that you're in, and you're like interacting with them. At one point you're in a meeting with all the other robots, and they're talking about, well, I think we ought to go here on the island, and I think this is the better path. What do you think? And it's just like, I didn't come here to have a robot meeting. I came here to solve puzzles. You know what I mean?
Well, they want to give you a story. They want to give you some more shit to go with.
Yes.
Maybe they're like, we've got to justify the reason it's the second,
and that's fine.
And if they want to make it into like a lore or a franchise,
right?
You know what they're like,
and that's fine. The part that got me was they were like, okay, now hit tab and get your social network pulled up. I'm like, I ain't getting into no goddamn robot social network bullshit. I thought I was gonna be solving puzzles. What is this shit? So that was a little stupid. But on the other hand, like, you're traveling from place to place in this little like motorized car, and then you get to this new island and it's like even more big puzzles. And at one point you are putting together like you saw earlier when you're collecting some of those puzzle pieces, they're sort of like Tetris type pieces. And then to get through the gate, you have to arrange them in a grid, and they'll just barely fit. So you have to keep fitzing them around and twisting them, flipping them. Later in the game, and I'll see if I can find the spot where we do this, you are walking over some here we go. You're walking over the landscape very high up, and you are placing down different pieces, and you have to get it to go correctly so that you're reaching the other side. And it's a very tricky process, and it was very weird, but it's a nice example of like, okay, how are we going to take it to the next level? Well, the robot social media bullshit is stupid, but this thing with the Tetris pieces in front of you is really cool. So it feels like it's a mix of things, and in general, I did have fun with it. I guess I had more fun than I thought I would, because the first one was so frustrating in that way I mentioned. But this one, I think they did a very good job with it. So yeah, I don't know if I'll play it right away, but I don't know. We'll see. So
yeah, it looks cool.
That's the Talos principle.
Yeah, looks cool.
Yep.
That is definitely the word.
Yeah. So yeah.
I think, like I say, I mean, I know I said this earlier, but I do think there's been a lot of good demos.
I was impressed by this one. I expected to play a little bit of it and then say like, again, like when it got too complicated, I'd be like, all right, I'm done. And there were some moments and I was like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. And to be honest, the last puzzle that I solved, I was like, I legit didn't know what I did differently, because I thought I had done something to, there's this point where you have a teleporter, you have a box, and you have to get through like 3 different walls of light. And like, I couldn't figure out, I thought I would like pull the box off and then sneak past the wall of light, but it doesn't work like that. As soon as you pull it off, the wall of light closes. So I thought I had done everything you could do, and I was just like, you reach a certain point where you're just spamming stuff, and then it worked. And I was like, oh, I solved it, and I don't really know exactly what I did to solve it, but I don't know. That was the exception.
That's kind of like when I played I played The Witness. I don't know if you remember that game.
Yeah. Oh, I played
there was moments where like, you have solved it. I'm like, and then he's like, learn that mechanic, what you've just done, around the whole map. I'm like, I don't even know what I just did there, but okay. And then
I can spam buttons again if you want me to.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that, The Witness. That's how it works.
Witness the fitness. All right. So
occasionally
that's the
I
Talos
knew what I was
principle
doing in The Witness, but not so much.
All right. Okay, so that's the Talos Principle 2. Worth a giggle. Yeah, certainly worth your time playing the demo. I don't know if I'll jump on the actual game, but maybe. We'll see. Stu, you're back.
Right, is it me again? Right, I think we should both talk about this, Stu, because we both played it. Let's talk about the RoboCop.
RoboCop Rogue City. Yeah, I did not know this was coming out until Amar, shout out to Amar, let me know, hey, this is in the making, watch for it. And then when I
knew this, I'd seen this advertised quite a long time ago that it was coming.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start by saying, I thought it was going to be a bit of trash, to be honest. I didn't
really?
Every RoboCop game has been trash.
Oh, hang on, wait. Ben, I love you. I'm glad you're here. Yeah. You need to be very careful about what you say right now. The original RoboCop arcade game is class. Did you ever play the original RoboCop arcade game?
No, I played. Was it the Sega Mega Drive game?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
I love the RoboCop arcade game from back in the day. I once beat it in 1 quarter. So I have a special fondness for that game. Yeah.
That is impressive.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. So anyway, that is the only one.
So these games, let's be fair, these arcade games are designed to eat your money. That's why they make them.
Oh yeah.
So to do it
the
in
fact
one
that I
quarter
beat it in one quarter is
impressive.
I was very proud of myself. But this game is a first-person shooter. And what do you think, Stu?
I thought like I was in the shoes of RoboCop.
I gotta be honest. I felt kind of like it was. I didn't hate it.
Oh,
I'm the exact opposite. I thought this was great.
I like the part where you're shooting people.
Headshots.
Yes.
Headshots.
Very satisfying. The zooming in, when you're targeting and it like even around corners, it'll target like bad guys and like, as it does. And it's like so satisfying. But you have to sit through so much cutscene. Oh my god!
There was a lot at the beginning.
Holy
there was a
shit.
lot.
We're gonna get these guys! Hey everybody, do your nuke! Really? They're bringing nuke back? What the fuck, man? Did you see RoboCop 2?
Can I just be honest, right? Having played a lot of Japanese role-playing games and Yakuza games, these cutscenes are small fry.
Well, that's a low bar, though, dude.
I've had to sit through. That's not an issue for me.
And I know it's ridiculous to say it. Hang on, let me just make this point, though. And I know it's ridiculous to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. You move so slowly. What the fuck, man?
Well, that's how he moves.
Yeah, I know, but
if I remember watching RoboCop, it was like slow, but he was going to come and destroy you.
Yeah, that's how he moves.
Come on.
Can I just say, character-wise, they've got it exactly right.
They do.
She's in the movie. I'm like,
yes.
She
it's
looks
got
exactly
Lewis,
the
which
same
is
with
great.
her 80s haircut.
Yes. And I believe the actors are actually, what's his name and who's it? From the real people from the movie, is that correct?
I have no idea, but it felt like they were.
I think
Everything felt right.
Yeah. And there's moments where you're like
even
breaching the door and it slows down and that's pretty cool.
The news story at the beginning I thought was brilliant.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that missing submarine with our guys on's been missing for 12 months or whatever. And it surfaced, but unfortunately we shot them. But they're back on American soil.
Right. That was pretty funny. And they're aiming at like the magic of the original. And in some ways they get it. Like again, the shooting is great. I like the shooting. The moving, if the movement was just like 20% faster, or even 10%, I think I would be okay with it. But it just feels so sluggish. And what's the story?
Needs an upgrade.
Yeah, exactly. What's the story? He misses his wife, and he's causing him to hesitate. Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, but that's the movie. That's what happens in the movie.
But it's been done.
I think you're doing this game a disservice. I thought it was great.
Maybe I'm being too harsh on it because I hoped it would be. End. Yeah. I don't know if I did or not.
I gotta say, I don't know. I'm watching the video. It does look pretty up. I don't know. It looks cool.
To me,
it
Ben,
does look pretty
ignore
cool.
Duke. This game is class.
There's things about it I like. I don't know if I'd give it a thumbs up or not.
RoboCop.
Yeah, it does. In some ways, yeah. But again, I feel like the story feels like it's halfway between RoboCop and RoboCop 2 because RoboCop 2 is the worst sequel ever made. There's so many things stupid and wrong about it. But like in this, at one point at the beginning, they're interviewing the head of OCP, and he's just listed as old man. And it's like, come on, man. He doesn't have a name, but for him to, I guess it was the subtitles, and it was like old man. And it's like, come on, he's the old man. Yeah, but it just felt weird to have that on. There's things I really liked, but like I said, the general gameplay. I mean, to have him pick up an AK-47 is weird, but I rolled with it because it was satisfying. But you're right. The headshots are great. The feeling of the shooting is good. I didn't realize you had to pick up the ammo. I thought you had to just walk over it and you'd pick it up. But nope, you have to. So if you're playing it, make sure you actually pick up the ammo rather than just walking over it.
Yeah, mind you, not that it matters because his gun is superb anyway.
Oh, his gun is, yeah, you don't really need the ammo. AK. Yeah, right. It's unlimited ammo, so you might as well just use the pistol all day.
Oh, I bet you love that, Duke.
Yeah, you don't have to find ammo.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, don't mess with anything. Nice. Yeah. Were you more a RoboCop or a Terminator fan?
Oh, I was RoboCop.
Was that like a thing?
No. I was way into RoboCop. Yeah. I saw Terminator late, so I was like, it's fine. But RoboCop. I mean, because Directive 4, and we can't talk about it without giving spoilers, and this is an old movie, but it's worth keeping the spoilers alive. Directive 4 is one of the most important concepts in science fiction film ever. So I really love the fact that they're doing Directive 4 in the movie. I don't know if it's in the game. My guess is probably not, but maybe. I don't know. They recycled other parts.
I just remember when I was younger, I wasn't allowed to watch RoboCop, but I had
that's for the best because it's not for
RoboCops. And oh my, I always remember you had to have like these fat batteries that were humongous to stick them in, and it used to walk towards you. And it used to go die, seek and destroy. So I used to walk, and like my dad was like, "Why the hell did you buy this thing that just makes this noise constantly?"
Because it makes noise constantly.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just go, die, pow, pow, pow. And like, Dad was just like, oh, kill me. But no, RoboCop.
And I remember before I ever saw the movie, I as a kid who wanted to tell stories and write, little tales. And I remember I came up with the idea for a police officer who is part cyborg. And it was like, wait a minute, it's just RoboCop. I just heard the name of the movie and then just wrote a story that was the exact same thing. It's so stupid.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Plagiarism at its finest.
Oh, yeah, totally. Well, T.S. Eliot said, mediocre poets borrow, great poets steal. So there you go.
There you go. Can I just say as well, this demo is enormous. It's just enormous. It took me probably 2.5 hours to get to the end of the demo.
I think I played like 20 minutes of it.
It's a massive demo.
Okay. Yeah.
And it also does this really cool thing at the end. So you finish all the story missions it allows you to do, and then it goes, just explore the city. If you want to carry on playing, just go for your life. You can just carry on playing as long as you like. Do side missions, do whatever you want. Go and have a look. So, it's so good. You don't have to drive, by the way, across the city either. It does this cool thing where you just get in the car and then you just arrive at your destination.
That's good.
It's just like, who wants to drive? Fuck that shit. Just get in the car and then you arrive there. Perfect. To your next mission point.
Cut out the tedious stuff.
I know you had a bit of a... Sorry, Duke, I was going to say, I know you had a bit of a gripe with the cutscenes, but once the initial start, intro cutscenes are out of the way, there's not that many, really. There's a bit in the police station. But other
than
that,
the one where, I don't know. I wish there had been less cutscenes and less yapping from this dude with the is the fucking Prodigy dude, the fire starter man. That's what he looks like.
Yeah, it is.
Except he's not as interesting as him.
He does.
So, anyway.
No. But it's good. I mean, I like the hostage situation thing. So there's there's bits where there's hostages, and so Christian Barkley just said, "Is that Keith Flint? What's going on?" So where you have to save them, and it goes into this slow-mo thing. You have to try and shoot everybody before they kill the hostages and stuff
that's cool.
like that.
That part was cool. I like that.
So there's a lot of variety. The only thing I would say is, from my playthrough, and I know you could pick up other guns and shoot those, but there wasn't a lot of variety in the combat.
No.
It seemed pretty one-dimensional. It's just like shoot people in the face.
Which that's what I wanted, to be fair. Like, I'm not too bothered by that because that's what I was hoping to get.
Yeah, I mean, you could pick up computer screens and electrocute people with me, throw them at them and they get electrocuted, which was kind of cool.
Yep.
From a Steam Deck point of view, can I just say, ran perfectly in indoor environments when you were shooting and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Outdoor, pretty glitchy slowdowns and a lot of sort of frame rate issues.
Interesting.
On the Steam Deck at the moment, but maybe that'll improve.
It's asking a lot in it when it's outside. The rendering and all that is insane.
Yeah. But inside it it ran perfectly, but outside not so much.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not so much. But again, I did turn it down to medium settings to see if that would help on the graphic settings, and it didn't seem to make a whole lot of difference.
No.
But that could be just optimization, and obviously once it releases, that it might be fine at that point. Who knows?
I feel like this will be a good half of a AAA title. I can't see spending $60 on this, and I can't recommend anybody spend $60 on this. You know what I mean?
No, but I mean, from my point of view, it's a big thumbs up. I think it looks great. I think it plays well. I thought like you say, the sort of combat and the headshots and all that was just so satisfying, and it's gruesome. This does capture the violence of RoboCop.
I agree with
it just captures it.
Yeah, I agree with all that.
Well, if they had a sprint, then Duke, then is it worth $60?
Well, I just I'll wait. I would like to see people mod it so that it's a little bit faster.
Yeah,
because then I'll be like, yeah, man. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm being harsh on it, but whatever. Go ahead.
This is a weird criticism, but I have got one minor criticism.
Yeah.
When you're walking in the game, it doesn't sound like RoboCop quite right.
No, because again, it would be very tiresome to...
That's what I mean. He just doesn't quite have that metallic walking sound that I was expecting.
Yeah.
But other than that, I love it. I thought it was great.
I think it was a mix of really good stuff and stuff that made me annoyed. So I don't know. Maybe I was being too harsh.
Maybe, Ben.
Or maybe it's not as good as it should be.
Maybe, Ben, you need to play this for next week because let's be honest, Chinny probably won't turn up again.
We'll see. Or at the very least, you can send us a speak pipe with your thoughts.
You can be the decider between us, because obviously Duke's not that keen, and I thought it was great. So
yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. That one definitely looks. Yeah, I'll give it a go. I'll check it out this week.
See what you think, man.
Yeah, check it out this week. Even if you're not on the show, send us a speak pipe or an email. And let us know what you thought.
Amar, did you play this? What do you think?
Yeah, Amar, you can let us know. You were the big fan of this.
That's right.
Let us know what you thought.
Right. All right.
So there you go.
Ben, you back up?
Yeah, Ben. Back to you.
So I spoke about the Kinect. We brought out a game called Kinect Sports, I think it's called.
Oh, I remember this.
Oh my gosh. So there was me and my friend Jack. We all thought, let's have a game of football and see. Does it hold up as a real life football game?
Does it hold up?
Does it hold up?
Does it hold up?
What a piece of junk that was. Oh my gosh. It's like kick the ball left, right, or down the middle. The only good bit is there's a saving mechanic where you have to jump. The only thing is we had a few drinks.
Yeah.
So there's a moment where you whip the corner and you have to head it. Dude, we were fully jumping into the TV to try and head that ball. Like the commitment from me and Jack was there. I will say.
Awesome. I wish we had video of that.
It was just funny because there was like 8 of them just watching, just cheering us on, and but the thing about the Kinect is if you dive too fast, it doesn't pick it up. So you have to dive extremely slow to save the ball. But, the football does not hold up. But my brother played the Olympics one.
Okay.
And that was just hilarious because like there's javelin, so you got your little spin, you have to pretend to run up really quick and hurdles and there's all different types of game modes. The volleyball, that one held up. Table tennis, that I feel like they've got the table tennis down. You know, any hand movements, the Kinect did kind of pick it up. It's just when there's like 5 things at once going on, it just gives up.
Right.
It's like, no, I'm out. But no, it's does it hold up? Half holds up. Half holds up. Again, not how the trailers described it. Because I went back and watched the trailers, and like the people there are like, "Oh my gosh!" Like I think there's an Olympian who's just like, "This literally feels like I was running a race." I'm like, "Really, dude? Really?" Like,
can I have my money now, please?
Yeah, that check must have been fat.
Yeah, exactly. I love how they showed people playing it, and as they're running, they're clearly just waving their arms in front of them, and nobody runs like that.
Again, though, if you ran too fast, it didn't pick you up.
Right.
So you had to like run at that optimum speed.
Yeah, exactly.
To just get it going.
And that's the thing is the idea behind the Kinect was that we're gonna interpret what you're doing and make it happen in the game, but in reality, you had to try to guess what the machine wanted you to do and do it that way.
I think the one they had a long jump one. Like me, my brother would like literally go back from the conservatory and run in, and it just would not. I'm like, no, dude, you have to like. And the long jump, you have to proper jump, but like it's like jump up. But everyone would just jump forward and smack the table. I'm like, come on, people, calm down now, calm down.
Right.
Yeah, not real.
No, it's not real. I tell you what though, it was passionate. Everyone wanted to win. The stakes were high, but it was it was, you know what? The more I play the Kinects, the more I don't feel like I got ripped off.
Well, there you go. You just had to wait some years for it to age like a fine wine.
Do you know, there's only 2 games I remember playing on Kinect, which I thought were actually pretty good.
Yeah, what were they?
Millie, can I just say, my daughter Millie loved Kinectimals, so she played loads of that. You know, petting virtual creatures that weren't really there. But they were on your telly, but not in your living room. It was very odd. It was a really weird game.
Yeah, that's an odd game.
Yeah, and the other 2 that I personally remember playing and thinking were great was obviously Fruit Ninja.
I've not played that.
Who doesn't like Fruit Ninja? And then playing it on Kinect was just waving your arms around like a dickhead, chopping all that fruit up. So there was Fruit Ninja. And the other one was a game called Child of Eden. And I don't know whether you...
I do remember that getting... The reason I wanted the Kinects was there was a Star Wars one where it was like, literally, you are a Jedi. You lightsaber. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to be a Jedi. And like, I just remember the reviews like being so bad. Like that game did not hold up.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I'm a sucker. Anything Star Wars related, it's like you are like. Concept, it sounds amazing. The Kinect, are a Jedi, you get to destroy droids. I'm like,
Well, Stu, you played that VR one where you're Darth Vader, right? Or you're fighting Darth Vader?
Yeah, I think that one was meant to be actually quite good.
Stu, did you play
that? No, I don't think I did.
Played the VR
I think
one?
what's kind of interesting for me is a lot of these games that were on Kinect have transferred over to VR now.
Yeah. Sure.
You know, because there's a Fruit Ninja VR now. There's obviously like a sports game in VR. You know, all these games that we played on Kinect are now VR games instead.
Right.
Which is still pretty cool.
Fair
but
enough.
That's a Kinect Sport, whatever it's called.
Yeah. Okay. I think I got one more, and then we can talk about Play My Game, bitch. There's a demo called Don't Die in the West. And I played this demo on Steam Next Fest. So I will talk about it as soon as I have got the things done. Die in the West. Okay, so picture this, people. You know Stardew Valley? I do. So imagine that with a little bit of Red Dead Redemption in it.
Ooh.
You literally are left the deed to an old ranch by an uncle or something. Like it's the same exact start.
Please tell me there's not a guy going, I've got a plan.
No, there is not. But you do have, when you take a stagecoach out to the property, and when you get there, the guy goes, hey, you, you're finally awake. Which, man, see, if I was around some Bethesda heads, that's the first line in Skyrim. You're on the cart as a prisoner, and he goes, hey, you're finally awake. Yeah, so when I saw that, I was like, these are my people. They get me. I had a bug where, so you get to the land, and one of the first things you have to do is like you make your basic workbench, and you do this, and you collect tree branches, and you collect rocks and all that. And I was doing great, but at one point there was this like to-do list. I think it may have been from your uncle left you like, here's my records. You should just do what I did. And so it's like, okay, you start by selling off the rundown shit that he left. And I had the to-do list pulled up, and like, you're supposed to hit escape to make it go away, and it just wouldn't go away. So I was just like, God damn it. So I had to restart the game, and that was very frustrating. But I kept going, and it's third person. You're this little kind of wobbling football looking dude.
I like how he walks. Yeah, I like
ridiculous. His walk. You have like 3 options of haircuts. It's all very simple. But in terms of like the crafting and stuff, there's a bit of depth. So, you make a slingshot and you break rocks, and you have to turn the rocks into pebbles you can shoot with your slingshot. And I was doing great. Like there's an area near your ranch that's got rattlesnakes. So I would like kill some rattlesnakes and then take the food and go back and heat up the food. So if you get hurt, you can, eat the cooked rattlesnake, and then get better and all that stuff. Chop down trees, whatever. I'm building a house. I made a bed. I got this. I got that. And I come upon a person who's like, help, help. And I'm like, oh, cool, a little quest to get me started. And I was like, what? And he goes, oh, these bandits took my money or whatever. Or maybe they took the wheel off his stagecoach or something. I don't know. And so he's like, they're off to the east. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll go get those bandits, bring him his wheel back, and I will have finished an early quest. I don't think it's an early quest. I think you're supposed to get stronger first. Because I was like, I'm doing great with this slingshot. I'll just use that. And I went and I found a bandit, and I was like, haha, take this slingshot. And it did like 5% damage on him each time. And he just looked at me and went, brrr, and he shot me, and I was dead. And it was like, wow, okay. I guess that's not how you're supposed to approach the bandits, with a little slingshot. Dennis the Menace does not take on the bandits.
It wasn't quite David and Goliath.
Not exactly. It was, except I didn't have the power of God behind me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's cute. I actually had fun playing it, but when I died, I was like, all the way back, and the stuff I had collected was gone, and all these things, and I was like, I don't feel like starting that over again. But like I said, it is a fun game, and I kind of had a good time with it.
The map seemed huge. The guy
it's a
pulled it
pretty
up on
big
the
world.
video.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah. So I think they skimped a little bit on the depth of the actual, like gameplay and the character design and stuff, but they made up for it in like the size of there's the bandit shooting at the dude. They made up for it with like the size of the map and like the depth of the crafting and stuff. So I'd say it was a thumbs up on the thing for the demo. I didn't add it to my wish list, but I can see getting it on sale.
Because Stardew Valley was brilliant, but like it was very clean.
Yes.
Not much could really go wrong. It was just corporate America was the problem.
Absolutely.
That was the enemy. Yeah. Whereas this one, like you say, Red Dead seems a bit more violent, but like in a kiddie way.
And there's more possibilities for storytelling, I think, in this area. So
yeah,
and not that Stardew Valley was a bad story, but it just I don't know. I think this has some interesting possibilities. So check it out. Don't die in the West.
Okay, I've got one more demo I'd forgotten about.
Yes, please.
That I played,
Stu.
which again was amazing. Can I just say I'd forgotten all about this? I don't know how I forgot it because it was so good. But I played a demo called American Arcadia.
Okay.
And it's kind of a puzzle platformer in the style of Limbo and Inside. But the premise is you're in the Truman Show, so your character doesn't realize he's part of this massive TV show.
Okay.
And the difference between this and the Truman Show is that the producers, anyone who finds out that they're on it, get killed. So,
oh wow,
you find out that you're in this sort of 70s style television show that you don't even know, and you find out that your friend's been killed. So your friend disappears, but they said he's just left to go to a new job. Turns out that's not quite true.
Okay.
Turns out they killed his ass.
Damn.
And you've got to escape. And this woman's helping you. And what's really cool is you think like, oh yeah, I've got this. You sort of this like woman's voice is telling you where to go and what to do to escape.
Would you kindly go through the double doors now?
Kind of like that. It's not everything's not as it seems. And then you become the woman guiding him. So you switch between the perspective of the woman who's guided him.
Okay.
And the character who's trying to escape.
That's kind of cool.
Which is pretty bloody cool. So there's a bit where you have to get rid of the security on this lift so he can get through the doors. And then it switches from his perspective to her perspective. Then you're in this like office complex on your own. And you've got to get these like code numbers to get into the server room so you can meddle with the software to enable the doors to open for him. Then you go back to being him again.
Right.
Escaping. And it's so, again, very, very slick.
Yeah, cool.
Again, looks amazing. Aesthetically, it looks just brilliant. You just feel like you're in a 70s sitcom.
Yeah.
Looks amazing.
But there's a lot of murder.
And they've got this... they've got this really cool vibe of colours going on, this like orange, yellow, and red all the time. So everything's orange, yellow, and red.
Right.
And it just looks great.
Cool.
Only negatives, this is not optimized for Steam Deck. It runs perfectly well on Steam Deck, but it crashed on me probably 4 times.
So it doesn't work perfectly well on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, it just froze, and then that was it. You couldn't do anything. Nothing responded. Your keys didn't work. Nothing happened.
That's frustrating.
The only saving grace, there's a lot of save points. So even when it sort of crashed or froze on me, and then I sort of backed out of the game, closed it down, and opened again, it would carry on from not far from wherever I was last in the game.
Right.
But it's not ideal.
Sure.
And again, I'm hoping when this actually releases for real, it will have... obviously optimized for Steam Deck, because again, this is definitely on my to play list when it comes out. And this, although not unique in gameplay style, it's very unique in premise.
Yeah, it's a very interesting concept.
And this sort of innovation with the controller and the person being controlled at the same time.
I mean, the part that we're looking at now, you're just walking back and left and right on a 2D sort of plane. But I assume there's more decisions you have to make, or like timing things you have to.
Not so much. There's like not long after this section that you're looking at now. there's like a little bit where you have to move a light so he can see where he's going.
Okay.
So you like take control. So you as the person helping to escape takes control of the light.
Yeah.
And then you have to move it backwards and forwards so he can see where he needs to jump to.
I got you.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of little neat touches in this game so far, and this is only a very small. I didn't unfortunately get to the end of the demo because it crashed that many times. I got to the point where I was just like, I think I'll just wait till it comes out and hopefully it'll be working better at that point.
I know what you were thinking.
So you can see
the concept seems cool.
I feel this game. I'm done.
The concept's cool. I like it, and it's all about the puzzles though. Are the puzzles as good as like Limbo and Inside?
Yeah.
That will make or break this game.
Sure.
Well, only early on. Oh, can I just say the voice acting is spot on.
Oh, really?
Voice acting in this game is amazing. Like both brill. Like there's a bit. It's not like terribly difficult puzzles. There's a bit where you have to align the cameras with a loop so that they don't know you've been wandering around the office. So that's the first section of this part of gameplay. You've got to go around and pick the right camera for the right footage, so that it's looping in the right places.
Yeah.
But once you've done that, you have to then get into the server room, and it's like, well, where's the key code? And you go around the back, and you can just peek through the side of a window, and he's just on a post-it note stuck to his monitor. And it's just
that's
like,
fortunate.
what an idiot.
A lot of games like this, people are putting their key codes
or something like that. So she
right.
makes some like quite funny quips all the time.
Yeah, right. So you didn't mention, Stu, that the part when you're the woman here.
Knobhead.
It's interesting, Stu,
and then you obviously get in the server room, and then you obviously solve that puzzle from there, and then you can open the doors
Ben,
for
can you
him
hear
to
me?
continue his quest in the main game. It just does this cool.
Tell Stu that
like
I
the way
can't
it
hear
switched
him.
to this,
Or
it
he
just
can't hear
shows
me.
your, and then it zooms out.
He's
and you're
loving
looking
it.
at the monitor with him on it.
Yeah.
Stu? It's just so cool. I love it.
Yeah.
So American Arcadia is
so
a massive
damn rude,
again,
isn't he,
comes up
So
for me.
damn rude.
I don't think
like
you can
I say,
hear
I've
me.
forgotten
or
how many
us.
great demos.
No, you can't hear us. You can't hear us.
On this next fest.
Okay.
But yeah, another one, Ben, that I suggest you give a go.
Stu.
Yes.
We are talking.
Wait, I can't hear anyone.
Yeah,
he can't hear anyone.
But now he just heard that he can't hear us. So,
ooh, what's happened?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. You suddenly
Has
just
everyone
stopped
gone
being
off?
able to
What's
hear us.
happening?
No, we're here. You just can't hear us. It's something on your end. It's
hello.
something
You got it.
on
Can you hear
your
me?
end. We
I
hear
can't hear
you.
anyone.
Yes, we hear you.
I'm just
but
nodding on
you
the
can't
video.
hear us.
Hello.
Maybe we're in a video. Maybe we're in the TV show and like just crack the system. And now they're like, yo, he cannot know the truth.
Dude,
Mess it all
maybe.
Oops. What if the whole world's just a simulation, man?
Yeah. Can you hear us now, Stu? Testing. Hello? Stu can't hear us.
I tell you what, while he figures that out.
I can hear you, but you can't hear us.
Yeah.
I can't hear either of you anymore.
Oh, no. I don't know what
Check his-
happened.
needs to check his
I didn't
headphones
switch
out.
anything. We can hear you, but you can't hear us.
I can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear us.
Good,
Okay.
good.
I'm back
great.
out and came back in.
I don't know what happened, but
How
turn your
weird.
camera back on.
Yeah, I am going to. That was
Okay.
very odd. I couldn't hear.
That was
Did you
very
still
odd.
hear me, I'm guessing?
Yes, we heard
Oh,
you.
yeah.
We were trying to talk, and you kept going. It was very funny. Like more
I
than
know, well, I
usual.
couldn't hear you.
You were being extremely rude to Duke. Duke was
That's
like,
right.
what the hell is going on?
It's fine.
He's
It's
like,
fine.
He's not really
just
rude,
like-
but he's not this rude.
Yeah.
It suddenly dawned on me that it was really quiet, and I'm like, I can't hear anyone. Why
Duke's
can't
never
I
this
hear
quiet
anyone?
for this long. Yeah. The
I know,
thing
yeah,
that
I was like, what is happening?
The thing I think is interesting is that you didn't mention that when you're the woman guiding the guy, it's 3-dimensional, and when you're the guy, it's 2-dimensional.
Yeah, it's first-person view.
Which is very interesting. I think that's an interesting little twist on it. So, yeah, it looks
Honestly, again, I completely if this demo is still available, I'd recommend wholeheartedly to give it a go because I think it's really cool.
cool. It looks kind of
Like,
funky.
super, super cool.
All right.
Yeah.
American
Yeah.
Arcadia.
Very
Good to
clever.
know. Ben, you got something else?
I've only just got a quick one.
Yeah.
I played Counter-Strike 2
Sure.
again this week.
Yeah.
All my friends wanted to play it. And yeah, I'm still not improved. I'm still absolute trash.
Does it bring you
But,
joy?
it brings me joy. Yeah, I say it gives me. When you get my goal in the game is to get a double kill. If I get to 10, I don't care if we win or lose. I've done my part. I feel like that. But I say it brings me joy because my friends, we've got one friend who's really good. Yeah. The rest of us are just garbage. And like when our friends missed like a point blank headshot, I'm just there like, dude. And he's just there like, no, everyone just shut up. Everyone just shut up. Just shut up.
No,
like,
we get to make fun of you because you're good at this. Yeah.
Well, the best thing he said to me, my friend Ollie, he goes, "Oh, guys, I've not warmed up." I says, "Mate, it don't matter if you've warmed up or not warmed up.
As warm as you need to be. Get going here, buddy. You're supposed to be carrying this team."
Yeah. I want to say as well, the Russians on this game are just incredible. I don't know, like, if they've been banned to play every game except Counter-Strike 2, but the Russians are hardcore in this game.
They really are.
But
it's true.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't. A lot of times they don't speak English, so you can't hear them being racist or horrible if they're being trolls. So, yeah, it's all good.
No. But
do you have a weapon of choice?
Still, big
do you use the op? Do you use the sniper rifle there, Ben, or do you prefer the M16?
Never. Yeah. I am. M4 and AK. They're my two.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I need to be able to release a whole bunch of bullets all at once if I get cornered. So
yeah. I feel like it's not worth the purchase because if you buy an op, it's like you're all in. You are getting a kill. And I'm like, I have not got the skill to guarantee a kill.
Well, if you could spend 2 years getting good at it in team deathmatch, sure, go for it. But I don't think it makes a lot of sense to do it.
I heard the community really aren't enjoying it, like, but they're like the top elite, like complaining about it.
Yes.
As a guy who just plays with some friends, I think it's quite good.
It's good fun, yeah, no doubt. Have you ever played? Oh God, what's the other one? Not Desert Storm. I can't remember what it's called. Let me boot up Steam and look in my library. There was the one version, and then they redid it, and I uninstalled it. Damn it! Hang on. I can find it.
Because we played Valorant, and you know what the difference between Valorant and this is? There's a scope in Valorant. When we played Valorant, I was like, wow.
Right. Yeah, the scope makes a big difference. Insurgency, Sandstorm. You ever play that?
No, I didn't, but I've heard you speak about it, and I will. Is that like the war one?
Yeah, it's kind of a cross between Counter-Strike and Call of Duty. What I like about it is that there's a kind of a PvE mode, so you're all on the same team playing against bots. And I really like that because everyone's really friendly there. Whereas in Counter-Strike, sometimes people can be a little hot under the collar, like, you cost us the match or whatever. So anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. That's basically
Counter-Strike 2.
Counter-Strike 2?
Yeah. All right, Stuart, we're going to talk about Play My Game.
Yeah, let's talk about Play My Game, bitch.
Okay.
Bitch.
Yeah, bitch! Yeah, bitch!
Play my game, bitch.
Yeah, it's got the Breaking Bad connection. Yeah, bitch!
There you go. Right, so we played Warhammer 40K.
Yeah.
Dark Tide,
right?
It was called.
Whatever it's called, I can't remember the name of it.
Which is another name for Left 4 Dead in space.
It really is.
Basically what
you're in a space prison, Left 4 Dead, with monsters coming at you. This is a weird game.
It was interesting. It starts off, you're right. You have to pick your character and your backstory and all this bloody stuff. There was a lot of stuff to choose. You talk about cutscenes in RoboCop before you start playing the game. For me, this thing went on forever. It's like pick your character, pick your race, pick your class, pick your backstory, pick why you're in prison.
Right.
Yeah, what did you do, you dodgy person?
I was just like, click. Can we get to the game already, please? Come on, I don't have to choose all this shit. What does it even matter?
Yeah, choose your name for your account, then choose your name for your character.
Oh yeah, here we go.
You can't just have the condescending
crap and play the game.
Yeah.
It's Warhammer, bro. You gotta have a backstory.
Well, see, that's the thing is that not only is there a backstory, but like you are joining this universe that has been around. I mean, Warhammer's been around for 20 years now, and there's lore on lore on lore. So the people who play this, the people it's marketed toward, they're not happy to just get dropped into the game and just start going. Like, I'm this quadrant of the Imperium and I'm coming from this planet. They may have persistent characters that they're playing through all these different games, or who knows what the fuck they're doing. So I respect the fact that I'm entering a gaming world that is not like other gaming worlds. I don't know.
Yeah, it is a bit like that. From a gameplay standpoint, it's actually kind of fun.
It was. Once you start playing,
I played as the witch, warlord, wizardy type character, so you could do all these cool sort of psychic attacks and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
But what was interesting with that, though, because you have this stamina meter.
Yeah.
If you use your psychic attacks too much, you end up killing yourself.
Ooh, interesting.
So you've got to kind of balance. So each attack gets stronger, but with each strength of the attack, it takes more damage to your stamina gauge.
Nice.
And eventually, if you do it so it's 100%, you just die.
Wow.
I mean, you do this massive attack, but you sort of kill yourself in the process.
But I can see that being worth it if you're playing with a group of people and then, like, you're facing a big boss or something. It's like, okay, I'm going to sacrifice myself, but I'll take him out in the process or something.
Yeah, they can revive you, so you do get revived even if you've been killed.
Yeah.
So you get revived, but you lose a block of your health. So you have like 4 blocks of health,
yeah,
and every time you die, you lose a block.
Right, and it gets corrupted or whatever, and then you can set up a special thing, and then like it'll uncorrupt your blood, but I imagine that's only in like a safe room or something.
Yeah. Did you actually play a proper game? Because once, obviously, you've finished all the tutorial, then you have to go and do like a sort of weapons tutorial. Which explains how you play the game.
I did the prologue, and I'm the most boring person in the world because you have all the options to do, as you say, like the witchy warlock thing, or you can do the huge lumbering guy with the minigun or whatever. I'm like, I'll be a regular soldier. Like, just give me a repeating rifle thing. The problem I had with it was that you can't really hold down the trigger on that one. You have to like keep clicking, and it's a one-shot rifle. So it was just like, man, give me a fucking give me a semi-automatic type of thing. Whatever, it's not that big a deal. But no, I did the training, or I did the prologue, and it felt satisfying because it's like a 20-minute, fight. You're actually doing the thing. And then I did the advanced weapons training with the character who's like, these things I create they're not real, but I enjoy hearing them cry for mercy and all this. At which point she was like, and it occurred to me, the whole laughing maniacally thing, it's done with villains and evil people. Like, just have them snicker or like mutter quietly. I think that makes more of an impact than laughing wildly. The Duchess is coming in the door. Hang on one second.
Yeah, it was actually all right. Do you know, though, compared to Left 4 Dead, it had way more of a story.
No, Duchess, the baby is not here.
Back 4 Blood? That was like
not here today. It's okay.
That was like a modern attempt of it, wasn't it?
Right.
Left 4 Dead, Back 4 Blood. Right. Like, was this more fun than Back 4 Blood? Did you play
massively more? I'd have said this was massively more fun,
but I didn't play very much of it. But I didn't. I think this works. I don't know. There's so much depth to it that I didn't really follow into. I can see this being a big time sink, especially if you like Warhammer, obviously. But it was fun enough. I couldn't keep going with it because I was just like, whatever. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I remember when this came out, it was like the problem. Everyone said it, good concept, that it was super glitchy and it was just not running well. And like, it's a year on now since it released, and because I didn't realize I was coming on, I like looked up like what do people say about it, and they said now it runs much better. And like, if you've got a team of people playing it, you can really work together.
I think this is going to be best if you're into Warhammer. You're going to love it. If you have a team of people, I think that's really when it's at its best. The one thing I will say that I really liked about the gameplay was when you start out, you have like a shovel or something, and there's pretty weak guys running at you. He had a good reach. A lot of times in these games, you got to wait till they're close enough. But with this one, it was just like, rah, rah, and they were like flying away from me. I was like, yes! It was very satisfying to be whacking zombies with a shovel. I had a fun enough time.
It's pretty lethal, that shovel. What I was quite amazed at is quite a few people had the shovel in the when I actually got into a game. Yeah. It just dumps you in a match with 3 other people, like randoms. Yeah. And 2 of them had the shovel. They seemed to like the shovel. They were running around hitting everyone with a shovel.
You don't have to worry about ammo.
More power to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
but I like this. I thought this was way better than I was expecting.
I had more fun playing it than I thought I would. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
I think if there were people you knew and you had a bunch of friends and you played this with 3 other people that you knew, I think this would be a lot of fun. And I know you said if you're into Warhammer, but I don't think you need to be.
I don't think you need to be either.
I don't think you need to be into Warhammer.
I think this is the type of game that Warhammer fans have probably been eager for. So, I mean, they probably played it a long time ago, but I don't think you need to be. I just think it's one of those things where knowing some of the backstory would really make it more satisfying. Every time I go back to Destiny 2, there's so much lore that I've missed out on. Some character will come on the screen and I'm supposed to go, oh, it's him! And I have no idea who it is. I think that's kind of what I felt a little bit in this game too, but whatever. It was fun enough. I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thumbs up.
I definitely think it's a thumbs up from me.
Sure. Okay, cool. Ben, any other games?
Nope. That is it.
Did you have anything else, Stu?
I do. I have one more game which I need to talk about because they said it's in the running for my game of the year so far.
What's that?
And this is the coveted #1 spot, not just any old spot on my list.
Okay.
And that game will be Cyber 2077, Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty.
Phantom Liberty.
Really?
Oh my god. This game is nothing short of superb. Everything. I mean, the year that this came out, right, I played, and I actually quite liked Cyberpunk 2077, right?
Mm-hmm.
I played it, I finished it, I had loads of issues. I mean, that game could never been my game of the year it came out, because there were so many problems with it.
Yeah.
Right? It didn't work properly. I had bloody glitches here, there. I had missions that didn't end. I had software problems. It was just a mess. This, on the other hand, is this is Cyberpunk realized is the best way to describe this. Okay. This is so far away from Starfield for quality, I can't even begin to tell you. Starfield, if you sit these games next to each other, Starfield feels like it came out 10 years ago, and this came out this year. That's the difference between these two games. The story, the voice acting, the staging, the cinematics, just everything about it is just quality. Okay. I mean, it's the game that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
They've even introduced, and I didn't realize when I first started playing this, they've introduced a whole new skill tree. Dude. So all the stuff that was in the original Cyberpunk is gone.
Wow. And
you've got all brand new perks.
Interesting.
And it's just brilliant. So you can play as a stealth assassin, you can play as a John Wick, all guns blazing. You can play this. I mean, from a role-playing standpoint, you can play this in any role you want. You can level up all these skills that would make every person's dream character in a role-playing game.
You got to be careful about any person, because what if I want to play a 90-year-old grandmother who's got 7 dongs? I don't think there's skills. There's not.
But I mean, combat-wise, you can choose any way. You can have a balance of the two. You can have it all out stealth. You can have it all out guns blazing.
Yes.
You can have heavy weapons, light weapons. You name it. You can choose to play it that way and level your character in such a way that it complements how you can play with swords, katanas. You can even have there are even skills and perks where you can deflect bullets using your katana.
Dude, that is.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This thing has everything you could ever imagine. If you want to use blunt weapons, you can do. You can play any way you want. Honestly to God, I cannot tell you how good this is. Anyone who owns Cyberpunk, you are doing yourself a disservice if you do not pick up this DLC and play it. Because it's everything you ever wanted. From when you saw that original trailer for Cyberpunk,
that's
and you thought, that looks fucking class.
Yeah.
And then you played the game and you were like, well, it's kind of class.
Yeah, it had bits that were good, but not quite that. Well, it came out, I just looked, 2020, December time. So it's been, coming up to 3 years.
Yeah.
And, this is finally, what it said it was.
It's like the realization of what it was supposed to be in the start.
Yeah, because I've known as well that this DLC, you don't even need to buy it, and they've changed, the actual story missions of the original game. To a much better version of what it was.
Interesting.
So
it runs. I mean, I've got now what you'd probably consider quite an old PC. I built this PC in 2019, just before COVID started.
Yeah.
Or is it 2020, beginning of 2020? So I don't know now. It must have been 2019.
Yeah, because I got mine at the beginning.
So it's getting on a bit now. It's got a 2060 in it, so it's not the latest graphics. It's got a decent processor. I've got a lot of RAM, but it runs like a dream. This is so smooth. I've got it on high settings. It looks amazing. Like everything about. Honestly, it makes Starfield look ancient.
I know. I've got a question. Do you think in 3 years Starfield could become like Cyberpunk, have a redemption? Do you reckon?
No.
Because you always had faith in Cyberpunk. You've always had faith. Like Cyberpunk will get it right. Once it's fine, it will be good, and it's come good. But what do you think, Starfield?
I think it's possible, but I think that Bethesda doesn't. I don't think Bethesda works that way. I think once Bethesda's got a game out, they're like, all right, it is what it is. We'll give you DLC and stuff, but by and large, they're not about reinventing their games, so I wouldn't hold your breath.
No, and I think the other problem with Starfield is the problems it got are sort of fundamental issues that are built into the game's systems and the way that it's made. The issues with Cyberpunk when it came out, the systems were there, but they just didn't work very well. Nothing worked as it should have done.
No.
You know what I mean? And there were a lot of issues with generally glitches and stuff that were just terrible. But what they've done is over the years they've refined it. Everything's so refined now in this game. And like I say, I can't tell you how good the voice acting is. The voice acting is just not just from like these, proper Hollywood actors. Like Keanu Reeves is in it loads. I weren't expecting much of Keanu, but he's live and kicking in this game. But every other actor is brilliant as well. Like I have a female V, and she's just brilliant. Do you know what I mean? The line she comes out with, the way she says stuff, it's just superb. I mean, have you played the original Cyberpunk, Ben?
No, because I think I've said it before. I never buy games when they first release. I take my time.
Yeah.
After about a year or two, when they're half price, like Elden Ring, I only got on that about a year and a half ago when it released, and it was so worth the wait because all the glitches had been solved. So this does really sound like if you are.
This is the time, Ben.
This is
the time.
Yeah, because you know what? I've always loved their games, like The Witcher. I loved The Witcher. It was incredible. But I played it again 3 years later when all the DLC had dropped and all. And you know what? I had an absolute blast. And Cyberpunk, I'll tell you what.
Maybe it's the time.
As I listen to VeteranGamers all these years, I value your opinions, and you know what?
Oh God, you haven't been listening very well. Then
give it a go.
This is the time. Buy with the DLC because it's totally worth it.
What about you, Duke? Are you tempted? I know you've got the backlogs of backlogs.
You know what's weird? Like for some reason, right now, and I know I move in waves like this, but like games where you're shooting guns for some reason right now, I'm just like because I have Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. That's a gun. It's a Borderlands game basically, right? I've got Destiny content I bought once upon a time and haven't touched. I've got a lot of different games where it's guns, and I'm just like, right now I'm just not.
Dude, are you listening to me? Katanas, blunt instruments, knives, you name it. You can use that in this game.
Yeah, but
you don't have to just have guns. You can have anything you like.
When someone's on the other side of the goddamn factory and you're not going to run over there and try to get him with a katana, you got to shoot him.
Yeah, but that's all about the stealth.
Well, that's you know me very well. I'm just a stealth guy from start to finish. I'm just so good at stealth.
There's a lot of stuff that helps you out with that in this game.
I hear you.
But I mean, even kind of.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, can I just say, at the beginning of the game, not far in, there's you have a massive boss fight.
Yeah.
And it was just awesome. And it did this really cool thing. Like a lot of boss fights, it's like that 3-stage boss fight where you have one thing and then you have to do another thing and you have to do another thing, and it keeps evolving.
Yeah, I hate that.
Well, it kind of does that, but then it also gives you the opportunity to prevent it from doing it.
Oh, interesting.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So where normally these games, you have to go through those 3 stages to get to that final stage where you can finally kill the boss.
Yeah.
It kind of does it, but then it also goes, if you're quick enough and you use your nonce, you can actually stop it from evolving too much, so that it becomes a little bit easier for the final stage of it.
Interesting.
And I love that as well. There's just so many things to love about this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, this goes back to my logo of just play it. I mean,
Just
seriously,
play it.
just play it, because everything about it is just brilliant.
All right.
And the characters, like I say, are just awesome. So I cannot wait. It got to the stage where I was like, oh, I need to play some of these demos for the show and this other stuff. But I'd rather be playing this.
I hear you.
I'd rather carry on playing this, but I've got to stop to play this other
Does it give you
stuff.
joy?
It gives me a massive
There you
joy.
go.
That's good, man. That's
This
Speaking
good.
of
game
which,
is full of joy.
yeah. Speaking of which, I was thinking a lot about that in terms of like, does it bring you joy? Does it bring you joy? Because as ridiculous as this may sound, I started a new character in New World. And I know
really?
that's ridiculous, but it has to do with this question of joy. I made a chart. Okay, so here's the chart. I don't know if you can see this very well, but basically it has 0 to 100%, right? And the question that I have is, how much confidence do you have that this game will bring you joy? When you're playing Cyberpunk, Stu, you are 100% certain that you're in the middle of, you know it's going to bring you joy. When you play a demo, right, when you play a demo, the question is like, how confident am I that it's going to bring me joy? When I started up the RoboCop demo, I was like, I am 90% certain this is going to bring me joy. And then the as fun as a lot of that game was, the bad writing and the long cutscenes and the slow movement, I was like, I'm not having as much joy as I thought I would. And I think that's because the more your expectations are up, the less joy you feel in that moment because you're let down. And so your joy meter is dropping in real time. But with New World, I've played it so many times, and this is the weird thing. There are certain games, Skyrim, Minecraft, and now New World is one of them, where starting over is fine. I'm actually just fine starting this. You know, how many times do I need to start playing Minecraft again, where you drop in the middle of nowhere and you make your first axe out of sticks and poop? I don't mind doing it over and over and over again. I'm that way with New World now. Like, I just, new character. And the reason I had to do it is because they just released the DLC. It's got mounts in it, finally. I'm not spending $30 on that shit, but when it goes on sale for half price, I probably will get it because I wouldn't mind having a mount, move around faster. But there was this huge influx of players, and so your character is bound to a server, and the server that my character was on was like, I went to play it and it was like, you are number 2,750 in the queue. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So either I can set it up and go away for an hour and come back and play it, or I could just start a new character on a different server, which has no wait. So I was like, well, I guess I'll do that. Yeah, and it's bringing me so much joy, as ridiculous as it is. New World is really, it's doing it.
I don't think that's ridiculous at all. I don't.
I know what you mean. You know that, like, when you drop in on Minecraft, the thing, the world's your oyster. Like, everything you can do is just like, wow, okay, and you're experiencing it.
And that's kind of the irony of it, because the fun of all the possible things you will do eventually is 100. And then when you finally get set up and you can start building whatever you want, you're like, it's too much work. I'm gonna just play something else now. At least that's my cycle. I'll build a bunch of stuff and then reach a certain point where I'm like, this is starting to feel like work, and I'll go away from it or whatever. And, New World does that too a little bit with you get to a point where it feels kind of grindy. But in the meantime, I'm just, the combat is so satisfying. This is my new gold standard. For a long time, it was Guild Wars 2. But now, if somebody were to say, like, I want to play an MMO, I would say New World is the one to play. And it's hard to get to where your friends
Jeff
are.
Bezos was onto something.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I don't know that he had a lot to do with this personally, but certainly he's making money off it.
Christian Barkley in the chat says he's loving it.
Yeah, well, glad to hear it.
There's another,
I don't know what world you're on. We should hook up, Christian. Yeah, I've got like 3 different characters, so maybe I could hook up with you based on which world you're in. Yeah. So it is bringing, and then the other I realized.
Did you change your roles? Were you a swordsman, then you went to archery, or have you just been
funny.
the same?
I did have a swordsman who had a bow, and then I played as someone with a spear. And then when I started this new character, I was like, you know what? I really like the sword. It's weird because I actually feel more satisfying killing people with the spear because the movements are more satisfying. You can throw it and then jump at them, and I don't know how you have the spear back in your hand after you just threw it, but whatever.
Magic.
Yeah. Right, exactly. And so you can do like a repeated move like that. With the sword, it's more like spinning around in a circle and stuff. And it's just, I don't know. So I like the spear, but for whatever reason, there's something about a role-playing game, fighting monsters, sword, shield, or two swords. And you can't do two swords in this game. That would be nice. But I don't know. There's something that just feels right about having a sword and a shield. So yeah, I'm really digging it. But one more thing about this little chart that I made is there's a y-axis as well, right? So the x-axis is how confident are you that the game will bring you joy. The y-axis is how intense is that joy likely to be. And the reason I mention it is because New World is a nice 50% intensity, right? Minecraft is maybe 30%. It's satisfying to make something, but you don't, it's not really intense unless you're away from home and the zombies are coming out or whatever. If you go into the nether, which I don't do.
You go in that nether portal. Yeah, you go in that nether portal,
right.
Then it's intense.
It might get intense. And some people play for that intensity, and that's fine. No shame, no judgment. But Rocket League, it depends on... And this has to do with how much joy I'm sure to have. It depends on, am I going to play well and am I going to be playing with people who are decent, or will it be sour, angry children? So often, of course, it's sour, angry children, and I don't know if I'm going to play well or not. So the confidence of having joy from Rocket League is all over the place. But here's the thing. When I play well, and if I can play well and have good, fun teammates, oh my God, the intensity is so high. A close game where I score a goal in overtime. I mean, forget about it. That's why I keep going back to Rocket League. When it's at its worst, it's terrible. When it's at its best,
when it clicks.
Yeah.
When it clicks, it's so worth the grind. It's like League of Legends for me. Yeah.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong, you have games where you just get trashed, but you have a game where it's so tempting, you're losing, and then you hop over and you steal the Baron that you shouldn't steal, and just the whole group just go,
and you get 2 kills along the way, and it's so sad. I remember my Dota days having that same experience. And the other part about it is, and I'll shut up after this, but Stu, I know for you, something new in a game is a big deal. You're more likely to have an experience that's joyful if it's got something new in it. Whereas I think I'm the opposite. The reason I play games like Minecraft and New World and Rocket League is because I don't have to worry about anything new. I don't even have to worry about a new story with New World. It's the same story over and over again.
Well, you don't.
Which is ridiculous, but that's what I'm looking for, So it's a personalized scale of thinking about it. So.
Well, that's just look. If we were all the same, it'd be a very boring.
If everybody looked the same, we'd all get sick of looking at each other. Is that Groove Armada?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is indeed, as the famously Groove Armada said. Yeah.
There you go.
So okay.
Why,
you gotta shake your ass as well.
Well, that too. I see you, baby. Okay, any other games people have been playing want to talk about? We're 2 hours
No, I think that's it. I think we need to do some emails.
We do need to do some emails. So let me play the email song, and we can get on with it.
Whoa, that ruled.
Yeah.
Okay, we've only got 2 emails this evening. The first email this evening is from our regular emailer, Jason. And he says this: congratulations again, Mike. Which would be great if he was here.
He's not here. Move on. I'm just kidding.
But he ain't here because he's a slacker.
Yeah,
he's a slacker. He is.
Bum.
Yeah, I don't know whether you know where he's had a baby. I just wondered if you were aware of that.
I think that's probably why he says.
I know.
Congratulations, but yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Anyway, he says, I always wanted lush and soft St. Augustine grass. When I was a kid, I'd walk barefoot on my granddad's acre of green. Priceless. Okay. Recently, I purchased a new property. I tilled the entire lot and installed that dreamy grass. For months, I had the pleasure of walking barefoot outside. That was until I discovered the 50-year-old tree in my yard produces Legos. Actually, they're acorns.
Okay.
The squirrels can't keep up. Guess I need some chipmunks. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. So he wanted to walk barefoot in the grass. You see, look, does it bring him joy?
That is a great feeling.
Yeah.
That and sand. You like on a beach and your feet touch the sand for the first time, and it's like slightly warm. Oh, no better feeling.
Yeah. Oh God, that reminds me of Peter Kay when he talks about, because that's just honestly what he said. My mum used to do, where she used to get a bottle of pop and wash your feet off when you got off the beach, and he's obviously washing your feet with roller cola. Washing the feet. And gritty sandwiches. Do you remember gritty sandwiches, Ben? Do you have some of those?
Sadly not.
No, you have sandwiches on the beach full of sand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's.
Can I just say real quick? Tainted Brain jumped in and said, "Good morning, all. Getting up for work. Good morning, Tainted Brain. Happy morning in Japan." I can't imagine getting up or getting ready to go to school and like thinking, "Oh, I'll tune into the Veteran Gamers podcast while I'm getting ready."
Yeah, why
bad
not?
way to start
it's not like radio. What's the problem? Yeah. So anyway, he continues. I've been a listener for quite some time.
Yes, you have.
You're the green grass loaded with the acorns. That's why they stick to the Veteran Gamers. Somebody has to feed their squirrel. So he's basically saying we're the acorns that get stuck in your feet while you're walking around in the luscious green grass.
That's right.
I don't know.
I don't
know. Anyway, he says Cocoon is a brilliant and gorgeous tech demo.
Okay.
I want a real video game to incorporate its different world systems. Its clever design will shape future simulations.
He's coming at your boy, Stu.
I hope the right developers. Yeah, I hope the right developers are paying attention. Look, we said this about Cocoon. You know, when I was talking about innovation in video games, well, it's that as a puzzle game, it's right there in Cocoon.
Yeah, I really loved it.
Yeah, that has some real innovation. Puff Puff. Somebody gets Stu some glasses he can't read. Dude, go handle the goat's balls and cheers, Chin. Go be a dad. Well, you know what? Again, he ain't here. He don't care.
We're Tainted Brain
Jason,
shock
so
jocks
there
for
you
the
go.
morning, he says. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah.
The next email this evening is off Antonio, friend of the show, GH Rocker. And can we just say, I feel like Antonio is a psychic.
Oh, yeah?
And you'll find out why as I read this email.
Okay.
You'll find out why.
Okay, go on.
So can I just confirm, this email came 3 days ago, so he couldn't have known what was going to happen tonight.
Okay.
Can I just say?
Okay. If he is a sidekick, what's the lottery numbers for next week?
Yeah, really.
You decide. They listen to the email and you decide. Are you ready?
Okay, we're ready.
Okay.
So he says a new era of veteran gamers.
Oh.
So that's what he's saying. He says, "Hey fellas, firstly, this is too long and too personal.
Okay.
Just skip out for the show or skip to the video game part. It's up to you." So I checked with him. I said, "Look, I read all. You should know by now. If someone sends an email, I just read it. It doesn't matter how big it is. It just gets read."
Look, Stu has two rules for life, man. Just play it and just read it.
Just read it.
Yeah.
So he said, "Yeah, fine. Just go ahead, read it. I don't care." So this is his email. And can I just say, before I read this out, this made my wife cry.
Wow.
So I read this email to her, and you're
putting a lot of pressure.
This is a heck of a prologue. Yeah.
She got quite upset.
I'm ready. Let's do it. Go ahead.
So get the tissues ready, people, and strap in. Here we go.
Go ahead.
We all like to talk about entertainment in eras or seasons.
Yes.
And it seems the VGs may be entering a new one with Mike aiding in bringing another life into this world.
Could be.
For a podcast, I like to think era changes happen when a life event happens. For example, Duke moving house, Duke becoming a PC gamer, away from the Mac, Stu discovering VR, etc.
That's a good way to put it.
As a long-time listener and contributor, I firstly expect royalties for this double jump t-shirt since I aided in creating the moment that birthed the shirt.
That's true, he did.
My lawyers, i.e. me, will be in contact in the future.
There you go. Bring it. We are very litigious. I'd like to see you try.
But moreover, I wanted to wish Mike luck for when he sees this. As the VGs enter a new era of the show in my eyes, he'll be great. And I believe this because of the treatment I've received from this community.
Aww.
It must have been strange creating a community about older gamers, then someone who completely breaks those rules wanders up and yet is still allowed in.
Yeah.
I've always looked up to Mike, partly due to the fact he has a career that I wanted at the time to achieve. Although I believe I've carved my own path at this point. And he seems like the fella I'd like to be. Without going overly personal, from my teen years till now, I've discovered a lot about myself, including battling many demons both physically and mentally, as well as discovering illness and conditions it seems I've had for the rest of my life. A moment that sticks in my mind is one EGX breaking down in front of Mike, which for myself was not what I wanted to be doing at that moment, and himself handling it like a pro. I bring this up as I thank him for the proof that he can handle an autistic child like myself. He can take on any challenge their child may throw at him. Moreover, I wanted to thank Stu and Eric over the years for being able to welcome me into this community too, and any time they have spent with me over the years on or off the show. Aww. Not going anywhere, just recently been trying to be more grateful for everything in my life. And thus wanted to reach out. A big thanks to anyone out there who I've interacted with over the years too. They know who they are, who may or may not still be listening. Hope I have made you all proud in some way, and I'm sure to keep trying every day.
Aww.
I'm tearing up a bit as I write this, and I can't tell you why. Perhaps it's gratitude, perhaps it's me getting in my own head about something that's that deep, bro. I don't know. I guess I just wanted to say thank you to the three of you for the years of entertainment and trust, and good luck to a certain Mike the Diva Chin.
Aww.
So that's the first part of his email. Bless him.
Yeah, bless him. And I would
do you know what it makes me realise? And I've always said this, you know, I said this to Kay the other day when I was reading out. We've been a community that what I love about video games, not only as a community, but just video games in general, is it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are, where your background is, what you are, what you believe in, or anything. Because that massive one thing we all have in common is video games, and it brings us all together, and none of that other stuff matters, does it?
It's true, it doesn't. But I think that the best thing about this little group we've got going is that we all don't necessarily, I mean, there's different kinds of video game communities, you know what I mean? There are really competitive ones. There are, you know, I talked about Damage Inc. for a while. I was part of that group, and like, they're really hardcore. Like, you need to put in this many hours, and we're going to help you get to Grand Champ and this and that. And like, I think we're a much more casual community, and we're also like, you know, we're happy to just sort of talk for 3 hours. A lot of other communities are like, this is going to be a 30-minute show, or we're going to jump right to this, and they have a schedule. And I think what I love about this community is that like it accepts us in our good moods and our bad moods, and we help each other through hard times. And it's a very low-key and laid-back community. And I think that's what I love about it. And yeah, I love having comments like that because, again, as we've said, we did this to just goof around and have fun once in a while. And it's evolved and grown to be a thing that, you know, I'm very grateful for. When I talk to my students about like the highlight of my weekend, it's usually mentioning this podcast because I have such a great time with it. And I feel so fortunate to be a part of this community and to have people listen when I run my mouth. And right back at you, Antonio. I feel very fortunate to have gotten to know you and to see you grow and learn so much about yourself and confront stuff that a lot of people deal with. Is just I love seeing people gain resilience and strength in various ways, and I think he's really done a great job of that.
It's amazing to me, and I said this to Kay. Like the first time we met Antonio, I think he was either 11 or 12.
He was pretty young,
and his dad brought him to EGX and dropped him off there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we kind of looked after him. You know, he came up. And
imagine
he was
dropping off a 12-year-old with you lot.
Was it the one where he tried to get into Assassin's Creed and you had to sneak him in?
No, I think that
years
was
later.
later. I think it was probably about 14 or 15.
No, I remember that. That was a funny story.
Yeah.
But and he came up and he was so shy and he was like, "Hello, I'm Antonio." This little kid, and no one cared. No one cared. He was like 11, 12. It didn't
So if
matter,
you're listening out there and you're 11,
men. I mean,
if you're out there and you're listening and you're 11 years old,
weird.
we want to meet you. Come to hang out with us.
Yeah.
Back behind the Piccadilly Circus.
Probably a
in the
bit
alley.
weird, but
Yeah.
sort of at the time it just didn't matter. None of that stuff mattered.
Right. And
he just hung out with us and we just played games.
Yeah, and I'll say that
it's kind of cool.
Mirrors something that I had when I was in high school, because there was this group called Dragon Keep. It was this online bulletin board system way back in the day. I don't know if you never messed with those, Stu, but it was this community in my hometown of Gainesville, Florida, and once in a while they would get together. And I remember the first time I told my mom, I was like, "I'm gonna go hang out with these people I met on the internet." And she's like, "You're gonna do what?" And I was like, "We're meeting in a restaurant. It's totally above board." She's like, "I don't know," and I'm like, "It'll be fine." And it was fine. It was really cool, and it was the first example I ever saw of online communication bringing about actual community. Because I think what we've seen in the last 20 years is that it's a mixed blessing. My students in my classroom are using technology to destroy community. They're just staring at their phones, right? But I think that if done right, and the Veteran Gamers is an example of it, we can actually build real community and help bring human beings together. And I really love that. So.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about how many friends I've made and how many people I've met as a result of the Veteran Gamers, it's kind of crazy.
It is kind of crazy.
Do you know what I mean?
We've gotten to know Ben. We've gotten to know
Antonio.
We've gotten to know...
For me to get invited into this situation, I've been listening since 2011, so 11 years coming on 12
Wow, you're
years.
another long time. I mean, how old were you then? You couldn't have been that old, I guess.
I'm 28 now, so yeah. So I remember what it was. I just started window cleaning with my dad in the summer holidays to get the iPhone, and I remember I had no confidence. I couldn't knock the door to say, "Could you open the gate so I could clean the windows?" And I couldn't ask for the money either. I had no confidence. I was just absolutely scared stiff, like this young kid. Who am I? And you guys, you know what it is? You're very real.
Yeah.
You are who you are. And like you say, you see your highs and your lows.
Yeah.
And keeping it real. It is just a beautiful community. Like the Discord, for years, you speaking, join. I thought, no, I don't want to be part of it, because if it's too intense or if it's too... Do you know what? You join. If you want to say nothing, you can say nothing.
Sure.
If you want to be like coffee golf, that's been quite fun, seeing all the different names every day, what's been going on. And I don't know. I think I'm very much at the minute how he's feeling with contentment. Mm-hmm. I am so fortunate. I don't know wherever you're listening from, but to be born, you might have your difficulties, but to be born and enjoying this earth for what it is, I don't know. Because you can always look for more, going they've got this, they've got that. But do you know what? There's so many others like what's going on in Israel and other stuff right now that's just so sad. Just count your blessings.
Yeah,
grateful. Be grateful.
Yeah, and when I've joined this, I felt so. When you guys said, "Come on the podcast," she was like, "Come on the podcast." Are you sure? The fear I had joining in, and you know what? You guys have just took me in. I don't know, because I've known you guys for years, but you're thinking, who's this guy just randomly bounced in? And the people listening as well have been very kind to me. No one's been slagging me off unless there's another email coming up going, "Who's this kid coming in taking
wow.
No, you're very real. That's what I like about it. You are,
and it's so sweet because you started listening when you were little Ben, and now you're big Ben.
I see what you did there, dude.
There we go.
I see what you did.
Right.
I think one of the weirdest things for me it comes about from that, because when we do have meetups or we meet people in real life, they're always they sort of they really know you.
Yeah.
You know, and they come up and they're like, "Hey, Stu, how's it going?" I'm like, "I have no idea who this is." I'm like, "Hiya, how are you going?" I'm like, "I have no idea who you are."
Totally. It's a nice feeling.
And it is. It is funny. It's a really surreal experience.
And people have said, and I know Antonio's message had a lot to
do. I don't mind it, by the way.
I'm
not. It's not a diss or anything. But it's just weird.
I think one of the best things about it is that people will tell us, it's really helped me out when I'm on this long drive or going through this hard time. It's fun to just turn off and listen to y'all or whatever. you never know what kind of impact you are having on people, regardless of what you're talking about. And I learned this early as a teacher, and I think it carries over to so many of us. And it's so easy for people to think, like, nobody cares what I say. I'm always joking, so I can just say whatever I want. People can suck it. But I think if we take a little care with our words, we can really do good things in the world without even meaning to, without realizing it. So don't take your ability to communicate for granted, y'all.
I always think it's quite scary as well because it's like Jacinta bought a PS3 on the back of what I said about Journey, and I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, exactly.
Someone spent like loads of money on the back of something I said, which is a bit scary.
People are taking us seriously? What the hell?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had emails in the past, haven't we? People who were suffering from depression and would listen to the podcast while they went for a walk to take their mind off what was going on and things like that. And my mate Feng Chui listened to us while his wife was in labour. You know what I mean? And it's just weird that there were people, you know, we don't sometimes realise, I guess, what impact we have, you know.
And sometimes they share great sound effects with us.
I'm a potato.
That's for you, Jacinta.
There you go.
All right. Is there more to Antonio's email?
There is. There's a more light-hearted part.
Okay. Let's get to. Come on, we're guys. We're not supposed to be having all this fun, heartfelt shit.
Yeah, this is the Veteran Gamers, bro.
Yeah.
I'm only supposed to play this in an ironic way.
Anyway, it says Resident Evil 4 remake released a DLC which has eaten my game time up and had me enjoying video games for the first time again in months.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
After not really enjoying them. It's funny how the same game, nearly 20 years apart, can reinvent how I believe action games should be made, but in totally different ways.
Go on.
So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
With the Meta Quest 3 dropping, I thought I'd grab an old Quest 2 for cheap and see what I have missed. It seems a lot more improved from when they bought out the Quest 1, and I'm looking forward to modding it in the near future. Looking to the future, my goodness, the next few months of games look great. Can't wait for Spidey, Like a Dragon, Gaiden, Naruto Storm. Connections don't start.
Always with the Naruto
Storm game in 7 years, so Naruto. And that's just 3. A bit of feedback for the show. The Play My Game Bitch segment is great. Please do keep it up. And this is the psychic party. You ready, people?
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
I am guessing Ben's filling in.
Yep, that was correct.
Dude. How did you know?
I doubt he said too much since this is addressed to the regular host. So in that case, Ben.
Uh-oh.
What's the best moment in The Simpsons, in your opinion?
Oh, well, I know it's a classic everyone always speaks about, but I remember Who Shot Mr. Burns. I remember me and my brother, because we couldn't afford, we had broke TV back in the day, so like 1 to 5, that was it. And Channel 4, it was like 2 years later, and everyone heard about this Who Shot Mr. Burns. I remember hearing about it, but we weren't allowed to watch it because we're broke. Yeah. And then when it finally came out on Channel 4, it was a 2-parter. I remember me and my brother just sat down going, well, who was it? It could have been a Pooh, it could have been Homer. Yeah. And then the twist, if you don't know, I remember me and my brother were just like...
Dude, yeah, it was revolutionary at the time, no doubt.
Yeah,
They have your father's DNA. They have Simpsons DNA. Yeah.
And Simpsons Hit and Run, one of the greatest games ever made.
Yeah. My favorite Simpsons moment, Mr. Burns, you're home already?
Yes.
No, that's not my favorite Simpsons moment, but it's a great moment.
You know, I don't really watch The Simpsons, but I have got a favourite moment. Can I tell you my favourite moment of The Simpsons?
You can.
Who prayed for special shoes?
Yeah, special shoes. Oh, the Flanders
and they come
kids
crashing through the window, don't they? And he's like, "Who prayed for special shoes?"
Yep.
And that moment will stick with me forever.
Oh yeah, classic. That and
so there you go. Classic.
Classic. I can never.
And probably quite obscure
moment. Those are the best ones. Homer chewing Bart out after shoplifting. How could you? Haven't you been listening to those lectures given by that guy at church, Captain what's his name? We live in a society of laws, young man. Why do you think I took you to all those Police Academy movies? For fun? Well, I didn't hear anybody laughing, did you? Except for that guy that made sound effects. Honk, honk. Where was I? Oh, yeah, stay out of my booze.
Anyway, he finishes with I'll end there. Thanks for all you do and keep it up. Thanks for the shirt too, Antonio. So
Yay! Wait, Antonio. Oh man, do I not have? Oh yeah, here we go. Wait, Antonio.
That's the worst name I ever heard.
There you go.
Brilliant. Yeah. Right, we have got one speak pipe, and then we do need to get the hell out of here. So let's have the speak pipe. Speak pipe. It's the way to leave a message for us.
I don't think you sent it, Stu.
Oh, have I not forwarded it to you?
I don't think so, no.
That could be... I thought I had, but I might not. No, I haven't. I was like, have you not got that? What is going on? Here we go. It'll only take me a second. Sorry about this, people.
That's okay.
You can tell we've been doing this for 15 years.
I'll do another favorite Simpsons moment when Mo is hooked up to the lie detector, and they go, did you have a grudge against Montgomery Burns? No. All right, maybe I did, but I didn't shoot him. Ding. Checks out. You're free to go, sir. Good, because I got a hot date tonight.
Oh, yeah.
A date. Dinner with friends. Dinner alone. Watching TV alone. All right. I'm going to sit at home alone and ogle the ladies in the Victoria's Secret catalog. See his catalog. Ding. Now, would you unhook me already, please? I don't deserve this kind of shabby treatment. Hey,
that is a great moment.
It is a classic. Just as promised, now that I'm done, we have our speak pipe. This
we do
is from Saint Diesel, and it's 1:30. Let's hear what he has to say this week.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Hey, Robocop, we were just talking about this.
Hey,
Veteran Gamers, it's Saint Diesel back again. I've been seeing reviews online this week for the new game RoboCop Rogue City. I'm not sure if it's out yet, but it looks pretty good, and I might get it down the line when it goes on sale. But got me thinking about movies, films, and TV series which haven't had their own video game yet. Obviously, the original RoboCop movie from 1987 with Peter Weller is a classic action movie. But I was looking through my DVD and Blu-ray collection this week, looking for something to watch, and I saw what I thought was a good candidate. It's a movie from 2009 called The Tournament, and it's set in the UK in the northeast of England, and it stars Ving Rhames as an assassin and Robert Carlyle as a priest. And it involves a plot that centers around every 7 years, 30 assassins come together in a city around the world, and basically they all have to kill each other off. And the last one standing gets the big cash prize. No surprise there. The twist for Robert Carlyle is being a priest, he's not allowed to kill anyone, or he doesn't want to kill anyone, and he gets involved in all the shenanigans. So, simple question for you. Is there a movie, TV series that you like that hasn't yet had its own video game, and you might think it's going to be a good candidate for it, whether it's sports, comedy, racing, action, whatever you like? And that's it.
Go ahead, Stu. What do you got?
Do you know what? I've something similar to The Tournament, I guess. But I always thought The Running Man would make a great video game.
Yeah, could do.
Which I guess is a little bit like Deathloop in a way, I suppose.
Yeah, sort of.
But kind of the opposite way around. But yeah, I always thought it'd be kind of cool to be a protagonist in a game being hunted by all these different sort of enemies with different skills, but just one enemy at a time or a couple.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Rather than all these different NCPs, you've got to almost like hide and seek in game format.
Sure.
So there you go.
I'll tell you, I never played...
But then a lot of these...
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say a lot of these asymmetrical horror games are kind of like that, I suppose.
Yeah, they are. There's some room there. But I've never played the Bourne games, but I feel like if they did it right, like that could really be awesome. Same with, I'm surprised we haven't had have we had a John Wick game? I don't think we have.
Yeah, we've had a lot of games that are kind of like John Wick.
Well, yeah, I kind of like it, but I feel like if they did it right, like that could be really satisfying.
Max Max Payne 3 is very close to what
enough.
a John Wick game would probably be
that's
like.
Fine, that's fine.
That slow-mo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think,
and there's a lot of gun shooting.
It's time we had another Matrix game. Like, the first one back in the day, Enter the Matrix, was good, but technology wasn't really advanced very well back then. So I think they could do a really interesting job with that if they were to take it on again. But I know that the Wachowskis wanted control over the story and stuff, and they're not trying to do any more Matrix stuff right now, I don't think. But I'll tell you, my big vote for a movie that never got a video game, actually, they did it on The Simpsons. Martin plays My Dinner with Andre, the video game, at one point.
Thirsting for a way to name the unnameable, to express the inexpressible.
Tell me more.
He's pressing on "Tell me more." It's so stupid. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I can't think of a movie that should have a game.
For me, I don't know. I think it probably did have a video game back in the day, but I never played it. My favorite movie ever is Treasure Planet. If they made a MOBA Treasure Planet game, and look, no one's going to play it. It's never going to happen. But he said we can dream.
Yeah,
if that ever happened, dude, Treasure Planet had deep lore. The story was thick, and it was just, it's one of my favorite films ever. And I always thought if they made like an online version of Treasure Planet where you could use the little jet skis and you go to different I know there is stuff like, but if it was Treasure Planet themed,
well, that's
in that
the thing,
cartoon
right?
style,
It matters if it's that particular thing, you know, like it lets you go into that world.
Oh, yeah. Look, it's never gonna happen. The movie was a flop. They're never gonna make a video game.
You never know, man. You never know.
You know, if I was ever like, you know, Jeff Bezos, I made £1 billion. I am making a Treasure Planet 2, and I'm making a Treasure Planet online game, and there might just be me and Duke. I'll get all the mechanics you like and stick it in for you.
That's what's up. There it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you know? If it hadn't been for Hogwarts Legacy coming out this year, I would have said Harry Potter.
That's true.
Because up to that point, there'd been Harry Potter games, but they were all trash, weren't they? None of them were really particularly good.
The Quidditch one was wicked. I loved it.
Was that all right?
That was on PlayStation 2. I remember my friends, we all used to sweat that game.
Well, they're playtesting the Quidditch now for Hogwarts Legacy, aren't they? I believe. So they've got a closed beta test, I think, going on at the moment, or just in the short distant past.
It's coming, man.
They were testing all that out for the DLC. But look, Hogwarts Legacy again. If you've never played that, I mean, I don't know whether you played this, Ben, when it came out earlier this year.
No, I'm always a year, 2 years behind.
Brilliant, such a brilliant game, and there's no glitches. That game runs perfectly from start to finish. Steam Deck compatible. I mean, that game had it all going on.
I don't want to be that guy, but I kind of like don't get Harry Potter.
It
just feels like, I hate to say it, and like if it just feels like a bunch of pompous conservative kids all got like, enjoying life. You know,
I tell you what,
and
they're fighting the ultimate test of good and evil, Ben. Come on, man.
Yeah,
I know you're gonna do it either.
Famous Five. What are you going on about?
When I watch it, I'm like, this feels like rich kids would absolutely like understand how this works. I just don't
Harry
get it.
Potter lives under
he's
the
not
stairs.
right. He's not rich, but the
but
world
they
he
go
goes
to
to is very clearly based on like prep schools, you know, boarding schools, all the money in the world. You know, you don't build a place like Hogwarts without having a lot of wealth
basically
behind
the
it.
peasant that gets a little crumb.
Yeah, exactly.
Go,
he gets invited to the fancy
I think
school.
you're wrong. I think what you find is, which is great about Harry Potter, is there's a lot of diverse characters. So you do, don't get me wrong, you do have the posh kids, and they tend to be the evil ones.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's
right?
like Malfoy. Fuck that dude.
You've got like Ron Weasley, who comes from a house of about 20 kids.
Yeah.
You know, who hasn't got much money to rub together, you know, and they live in this higgledy-piggledy house.
I always remember my dad, though, saying, like, look at all the kids, even the kids that, like, just side pieces, they had, like, a breakdown of who they were related to, and all of them were, like, multi-millionaire kids and all that. And they're like, oh, they've been taken over from America to come and do a scene for 2 minutes. Oh, lordy-da, I was like,
oh, you mean the actors?
The whole thing. Yeah, the actors. And all. I was just like, oh, my God. And they're like, oh, did you know I was in Harry Potter? I literally met somebody who was like, did you know I was in Harry Potter? I went, I can believe it. Yeah, I can't believe it. Like, there was no one like, yo, bruv, come on, bro, let's get these wizards. Like, no one was like, I couldn't relate to any of it. I was just like, yeah.
Go on, bruv.
So
the
other,
let's get that wizard.
Apparently, they're making a TV series out of the Amber novels, which were the books that I loved when I was a teenager. And I think you could make a really cool video game out of those. But it's obviously very obscure until they make the show. Who knows? Maybe when they make the show, everyone will be like, oh my God, Amber's amazing.
Maybe they'll finally do Ready Player One in VR. Maybe that'll become a thing. You know, maybe we'll have all these different worlds to explore. No, they already tried that and it was shit. Just saying.
But there is something called VR chat. That's kind of like that.
There you go.
Kind of. It's not quite. Have you read Ready Player One?
No, I've not read it. I watched the film.
The book is sort of better, but the book,
yeah,
it just describes all these really fantastical worlds that have been created within this VR space. Where, you know, Meta tried to do that with this Meta universe or Metaverse or whatever it's called. And it didn't really work.
I was just thinking about Blade Runner, and apparently they made a game in 1997 called Blade Runner, which, oh man, that couldn't have been very good if it was 1997.
A lot of these games are. Anyway, I think it's that time of the evening where we need to do some shout-outs and get the hell out, because I feel like we've talked way too much.
We have talked a lot this week, no doubt. So let's wrap it on up, people. Shout-outs, here we go.
It's time for a shout-out. Hey!
Yeah, time for shout-out. I'm going to go first. Fuck
go
you
ahead,
two.
Stu, go first.
Do it.
I'm going to obviously shout out Ben for yet again stepping in at short notice.
Big Ben.
I'm here if you need me, baby. I'm here if you need me.
And I'm going to do an anti-shout out to Chini for being a douchebag.
Yeah, really.
And not letting us know till very short notice he wasn't going to be on the show.
Oh, really? Oh.
And by the way, did I mention he's had a baby? I don't know whether you know. Did you
Why do we always have to keep talking about this baby? Wah, baby, baby.
Just say I wasn't sure whether you knew. Like, you know, did you know?
Hey.
So you must have known.
Sick of hearing about it as well. I'm sick
I know. So that, and obviously massive shout out to Antonio.
Yeah.
Bless him. And I'm just glad that you feel that way, and hopefully there are other people who feel that way out there.
Yeah,
and, we do our very best to be as inclusive as we possibly can.
That's right. Much love to all our listeners.
Right, over to you, Ben. Fuck Duke, he can go last.
Yeah.
I want to thank you two for putting up with me again. I appreciate it, and all the listeners. I want to thank my friends that when I told them I'm coming on, they were going, "Can I have a shout out? I've never had a shout out on a podcast."
Yeah.
So, Matt.
No, we don't have time. Moving on. Just kidding.
Yeah, we've got karaoke on Friday, so all the lads are like getting prepared. It's a lads only karaoke set, so I'm expecting all my boys to turn up. There's about 10 of us. Oh, it's funny. Some of the girls want to join. Last time we let them, and they were much like, "So, yeah, when does this like end?" Because let me tell you, we picked the most obscure tracks that like only two of us will know, but it is absolutely beautiful.
So, can I ask? And I've got to ask.
I want all the lads to practice their deep inner voice and sing whatever comes to you.
I've got two.
What's your karaoke song?
Well, I was just about to ask you the same thing. I've got two questions, right?
Hear me.
First question is: have you got a proper karaoke setup?
No,
so we're going the proper machine.
No. Karaoke, you do it in public, in front of everyone, so you get publicly humiliated.
Ooh,
it humbles you. It humbles you.
Where do you do this?
It's a place called O'Neill's in Leicester. Like,
all right, so it's a proper like karaoke in a pub sort of thing.
Oh yeah, and like let me tell you, the more obscure the better, because you just see like 30 people just go, "What the hell is going on?" Like this is the weirdest. Because you know what? When other people, but you know what? You back your boy, even if it's a disaster. You back your boy.
Yeah,
that's
totally.
That's how it works.
I like it.
Show the love.
I like it. And what's your go-to song? Let's ask you first, and then we'll tell you ours. Go-to karaoke.
Well, originally, if I want to actually do well, Queen, because everyone likes Queen and all that. But like recently, like I don't want to give it away because I know they're going to be listening. But last time, I did a Imagine Dragons song that was based in League of Legends for about a month.
Nice.
And they performed it like twice, and they never played it ever again. I remember going up and going, "Can I have this?" And the guy was like, "What the hell?" And I was singing it with such passion that two of my boys were in the toilet having a waz, and they went,
That's such a great phrase.
They came out and they didn't even realise what song we were listening to because I was butchering it that hard. And then like halfway in, they went, "Wait, is this the League of Legends song that we listened to 5 years ago? And then they all lost their minds. We're like, God, son,
Ben, do me a favor. Say the names again, because I think I stepped on when you were saying their names. Actually, I was yelling over you.
We're gonna have Matt, who's had a baby and is not very often let out, and he's getting let out. We've got confirmation from his wife.
Nice.
My friend Ollie, my brother Dan, my friend Ruben, who's just had a baby. He's allowed out this. We've planned this months in advance.
Nice.
So.
Have
you're in Leicester, O'Neill's, pop by.
There it is.
Stu, my God. Or don't.
Stu, what's your go-to karaoke?
My go-to, I'm a bit of a crooner when I do sort of karaoke. So my go-to's Mac the Knife.
Okay.
I like a bit of Frank.
It's a good song.
A bit of old Blue Eyes.
It's at the beginning of quiz
so
show.
I try to sing it seriously as well. I don't do the let's be a dickhead.
No.
So I try and be pretty good, but I'm actually pretty shit. But I think I sound pretty good.
It's about having fun.
Can I just say as well, while we're talking of karaoke, the best ever karaoke performance I've ever heard was when we went to a midlife gamer party in EGX, and used to always have like a karaoke thing going on, right? I can't think what his name is now, but he's in the community and he listens to podcasts, so I'm really, really sorry about this. But he got up and he did Boom Shake the Room by live Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Okay.
And it was absolutely brilliant. When someone just does it, like when you're completely not expecting it.
Sure.
And he got up, and he was just amazing. And he was just like had the crowd in the palm of his hand, and he was like, he knew every word. He sang it perfectly, and it was just brilliant because it was so like, what just happened?
Yeah.
That is a great feeling when the whole crowd's with you. You're like, whoa.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, he was holding the mic, he was doing the boom, boom, and I was like, shake the room, and he's just like, oh my God, it was brilliant.
Sick. What about you, Duke?
I can't remember the last time I did karaoke. I think it was in Florida, so it's been over 20 years. I've never been big into it. The last time I went, or anytime I go anywhere where there's like a jukebox or anything, I always look to see what kind of hip hop they have. And in general, if they have any hip hop, it's usually like Snoop Dogg or Dr. Dre or Eminem. It's like artists that they're fine. They make good music, but it's not stuff that I'm really into. So like I would love to do Public Enemy karaoke or something like that, or Run DMC from back in the day. I could really get into that. But I remember one time I did a karaoke version of It's the End of the World as We Know It by REM, and I had memorized those lyrics years earlier for this thing that we did in high school, and I still had most of them, so I felt very proud of the fact that I could just, that's great, it starts with an earthquake, birds, snakes, and airplanes, and Lenny Bruce is not afraid, and to be able to just rattle them off, I was very proud of that. So I would love to be able to do Europe is Lost by Kate Tempest at a karaoke some point, because I think I could do it blind. Like I don't think I would need the lyrics in front of me, and that's a pretty long song with a whole lot of stuff in it. So that's
hardcore. When someone does it blind, you gotta appreciate that they put effort into.
Well, that's the thing, is that like I'm so picky about, same as when I go to a wedding or something and there's a dance party, like it takes a certain song to get me up. Like most of the time I'm like, okay, that song's fine, but I'm not going to get out of my seat and dance to that. But if they put on like House of Pain, Jump Around, or like, I don't know, I'm trying to think, like they put on Chumbawamba, like I will dance to, Tub Thumper. Like that's a great song. So it's the same with karaoke. Like I want something that is special to me, and it's rare that they're going to show up on the main karaoke.
What about Firestarter? Would that you get up on the floor?
I would dance to. Oh yeah, Prodigy. I mean, anything by Prodigy, anything by Chemical Brothers, anything by Underworld, like the bands that I'm really into. And by the way, did you know Orbital has a new album out, Stu?
I didn't. They split up though, didn't they? We were meant to go and see them.
I don't know what's going on.
And they split up, and then they cancelled the concert.
Maybe it's one of them using the name or something. I don't know. But Spotify was like, "Hey, new Orbital."
No, Orbital.
Orbital. Yeah. So anyway,
I'll give it a listen.
It's good. I like it.
Tell us, listeners, if you're listening, what's your karaoke song?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, send it in. Send us a speak pipe.
Let's hear you doing the karaoke.
Let's see how much notice Ben has taken over these few weeks he's been covering. So, Ben, if someone wanted to email in and tell us what they've been listening to or what the karaoke go-to is, where would they email it to?
I'm gonna go with VeteranGamers.
UK.
I don't know.
Wow.
Listen, I just know we're gonna be on next week.
Oh, that's it. Dukey's out.
Yeah, Chinny, come back.
I don't know if I know it. VG
He's
Podcast
totally
UK at Gmail. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. VG
VG
Podcast
Podcast
UK at
UK,
gmail.com, people.
I do know it. All right.
No.
Or
it's no wonder Ben's never sent an email.
You can also get in touch with us on various social media options, including Thread. All right. Are we done? Is that it?
Yeah. Or you can send us a speak pipe. So look
Yeah.
up Veteran Gamers Speak Pipe. That's
If
a
you
bit
just
easier.
do a Google search for
And
Veteran
you can just
Gamers
send us
Speak
a
Pipe. It's in the show
voicemail.
notes. Use the link in
Send
the
us
show
that
notes.
instead. Who cares?
Yeah, why not?
But yeah, send us some stuff. Let us know what you're playing. Let us know what you think of the show. Let us know whatever you want.
Let us know how big of an impact we made on your most formative years, like Antonio did. God damn it. We want that in every email. Otherwise, we're not reading them out anymore.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
And they do expect you to be put in the will.
That you should be telling us about you crying while you write. Yeah.
Can I just say as well, we are like virtual agony uncles.
Yeah, we are.
So if you want to send us your problems, get them in and we'll give you some advice.
Yeah. I'm not offering to give advice.
We'll
Fuck
sort
that
out
shit.
your issues.
I want
don't you worry.
heartfelt messages about how we changed your life already. Stu wants new ways to change your life. Fuck that shit.
Exactly. I'll tell you what to do.
We're coming
Don't
up
grow
on 3
your hair in
hours, people.
curtains like me.
We're
Don't do
3
that.
hours.
That's
All right,
good
Stu's
advice.
giving hair advice. We're done here.
All right, show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Bitcoin ain't nothing but soybeans on the computer.
That's suspicious.
Yeah, huh?
All right. Well,
If you ever do a meetup, you have to do a karaoke version of the sound bites. How many
there
can
you go. Oh my God, I don't think I'd do very well on that even.
Party game invented right there.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that would be hardcore.
There it is. All right, guys, I
That would
really
be
should grade some
hardcore
papers.
indeed.
So thank you for a great show.
Okay,
Thanks for
by the
tuning
way,
in,
Duke, I
everybody.
hope that, like I say, it's been pretty distorted at my end most of the show, so I hope it's not distorted at you. Did I sound distorted at all?
You
or
don't
was I
sound at all
alright
distorted
most
to
of-
me. Ben, do I sound distorted to you?
You do, but you know what, Duke?
Okay. Well,
So hopefully on your end,
I think
it's
on my
fine.
end, the recording, it's probably fine. I don't know what Discord. Fuck Discord. This is why Chinny needs to come back.
Yeah, when's Chinny back?
Yeah,
Oh,
really.
heaven.
I know. When is Chinny back?
Yeah,
Who
really.
fucking knows?
Better be back.
Anyway,
next
thank you
Rightio,
so much.
guys.